Scrap, Sib, they all have 17 to 40 snipes for their teams, right? So, yeah, maybe find a different sniper. Those two things can maybe help your team a lot.
Search and Destroy definitely is a pain point, which is so interesting considering the buildup of this roster. But even in their match versus Boston, they got 7 first bloods, and that resulted not in a map win. You know, they went all the way to around 11, so I have to echo what Ant says. It's not only that they're not getting them, but when they do get them, they still don't win. So another system error somewhere in the Search and Destroy. But as we head into the maps and modes, like I said, it's going to be Blackheart map number 1. To be honest, I'm leaning for Riyadh Falcons in that map number 1. I just think they have a lot of pressure when it comes to the respawns, and that can certainly suffocate a team on a map like Blackheart.
All right, there's your maps and modes. Chat, what are you thinking? Get your predictions in, because we're going to be going in hot with our Scuff Pick'ems. 2 great teams to choose from. Rosalie, we're starting off with you, because you've been on fire. I can't lie. You're beating that. You're crushing everybody. Who you going with?
This is tough. Listen, if Carolina didn't have that map 4 yesterday, I might have picked them. I'm going to go with Riyadh, actually, in this one.
Riyadh, okay. Nameless. You following suit?
I think the Blackheart is, like, good for both teams. I feel like Carolina's going to win it today. I mean, their guns were hot.
Need to.
And then we get to that Scar. We just kind of talked about the sniper issue. I think Exceed's going to have a field day. I got Carolina taking it.
I have to agree with you. I'm going Royal Ravens. The reason why that loss yesterday, they were feeling it. They were angry. They're mad. They're going back to the workshop. They want to win today. I don't see them letting this slip through their fingertips. They're taking down the Falcons. That's my prediction. Let's see it. Fans, though, going with the Falcons. Rosalie, you two are on the same page. Let's get it started. Shift and Study, take it away.
Thank you, friends. Yeah, this should be an interesting one, and I think that's just kind of a proving point in time now for this Riyadh team, because the caliber of wins that they've gotten outside of maybe like the win that they had versus Paris have largely been on the lower half of the league. Carolina's looking to kind of reestablish identity after not having a great major, and Jay, I just kind of want to know what your thoughts are, especially considering the dynamic nature of this best of 5 map set.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very fun series. When you take a look at the maps, it's basically a square up, especially in the first like 2-3 maps in a row. But I think for both of these teams, they're sitting around the middle of the pack when you talk about everyone in the league. And they just want to create some space between that. The way that Carolina played yesterday versus the Mates, like you could have been able to force that game number 5, but you outslay them by 32 kills and we're just playing like 3 steps ahead. Like sometimes when you're getting 4 dead, it's cool to just play a setup before you decide to execute a push out, because every time they go for that push out, they left the last guy standing and he always made the play. So Carolina, like you said, they're going to be thinking about that match yesterday, but versus Falcons, they're one of those teams that, like, if you force them to be uncomfortable, then they look like they can easily break down. So 2 teams that have a lot of breaking potential.
Did you gain any motivation or confidence in the Carolina team just knowing that they played Paris as well as they did in the respawns yesterday? I think that's often kind of a metric test in terms of, is the team really still hanging? Yeah, play one of the best teams in the game on one of their best overall modes, and to be able to come close in both the hard points and take the den overload, I would say it's pretty confidence boosting if you're Carolina.
Yeah, but like if you saw what they were doing in their teamwork aspect, it was just all out of sync versus that caliber of team. Like even in the Search and Destroy, there's certain rounds where Craze is gaining information, puts down shots to get out with his life, and no one is watching his cross. So I think like for Ravens, it's just time that's going to be their best friend to truly mold themselves into the position that they want to be. And the same thing could be said for the Falcons on the other side, because Falcons, they are fantastic when the momentum is going their way. But when things aren't going their way, they somehow, some way are still able to throw away situations. Like yesterday in the Search and Destroy, you have a 1v3, you let it go. You have multiple rounds where you get the first blood and you let it go on your best Search and Destroy map. So S&D has been a struggle for this team. That's what they're looking to improve here, and I think Nameless hit it on the head perfectly. Kismet being their only sniper with 7 kills. Now Search and Destroy, you need someone else to pull out the boomstick and get a couple extra.
Yeah, I like that call a lot. I think just in the nature of how the Search and Destroy map set has been determined by what the scopes have been able to bring to the table, not even just on one particular map or another, but just the simple fact that it just continues to be an influence over and over again, especially by the best teams that are out there. Speaking of the best teams that are out there, here are our major 2 qualifier standings to this point. What a start it's been for the LA Thieves. Bringing Neum into the mix, they are perfect 4-0. They have not dropped a hard point yet. They've looked really, really solid. Paris and Optic still doing what they're doing, mostly just looking at, when do they match up again, because that was an epic grand finals at Nature 1. FaZe still hanging, and then everyone else is kind of still fighting for positioning right now. So our top 4, I won't say as expected as it would be, just based on how successful the Thieves have been. But I would say for a lot of people out there, that's the 4 that we would have expected, kind of looking at the rosters at the beginning of the year and now seeing the change with Nia Min and what that's done to the Thieves. So let's see what you can get from these two squads trying to boost themselves up the rankings. It's Blackheart Hardpoint to get us kicked off here, Jay. And we have to assume that, again, this is going to be one of those fast and furious maps. You got to try to get the trends, the narrative set up early for who's going to be able to dictate the tempo of this map.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're Carolina, this is just one of those instant potential bounce back maps for them, because you ended yesterday on a Colossus HP where it's usually about the same amount of aggression, but Blackheart tends to have that similar play style. Just, we cannot scam in certain situations, and we have to clear out everything on the proper side. But already into the P1, the Ravens are flying and frying. 8 seconds secured, trying to get your trades. They don't, and Falcons get an early break.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Riyadh to this moment. 3 for Celium will have them locking down not just early time, but getting an early feel out across the map. Late nade from Kismet also lands. Pick up on the pinch is good by Pred. So everything really turning up nicely in terms of how Riyadh have not just broken through this hard point, but how they're setting up themselves to just get time and potentially, with the 18 seconds remaining now, possibly push things out.
Yeah, not going over towards the P2. Carolina at least clear their way out through the P1 area. So now have an easier approach to just not hit the fundamental routes, try to go right through the front door, but Exit here cutting them off, has Narrow knocked down to 38 HP in the Dream, not able to get that kill onto Celium. The AR's firing for the Falcons early on, win them the rotation to P2.
Yeah, and then now they've got Ravens trying to work around this OE. It's just not feeling comfortable right now for Carolina. 2-2 split. Need to find an opener. Pred gives away his life there. Exceed also finds one from the front. So an opportunity starting to brew here for Carolina as they win back the hard point. Exnid trying to block spawns. Not going to be successful. So a nice break here early for Carolina. They'll get this thing back to within single digits and now have to receive the next opportunity for Riyadh to try to break.
Yeah, and that's good finesse right there out of Craze. Reads the pressure going around the backside. Tries to set up his teammate for a free couple of kills. Narrow's only able to find one, though, but it's still Ravens in towards the time. 20 seconds here remaining at P2, and now it's all on Lurks. How many can he find? Only able to take down one. So the break is good for Falcons. They're going to have a nice little lead, up by 7, going over towards the P3. And they have players in position, winning gunfight after gunfight. Going to not allow Ravens to be fully set up.
Yeah, Nero already making a mess of this rotation. He's found himself a big one onto Pred, so the hard point will open up in blue for Carolina. And I like this on a Craze. Just kind of get lost, play around the old time, and see if you can find any rotational eliminations. Makes things very difficult for the Falcons to get themselves set up, and now they will spawn over towards this pit area. Looking to try to break this from the front. Exceed cooking up a nade. Doesn't really have the assistance over the top of the jump up mantle, but does get a pinch from Lurks, waiting for the opportunity to just jump out the window and shut down this next play, but he will go mid instead, and it's all about just receiving it on the hill, and Exceed gives you one. The follow-up is there, and Carolina will hold.
Yeah, Carolina are going to hold, and Crazy able to catch the sneaky beaver, trying to work around the backside. So a flawless P3 gives them a nice little comfortable lead, and you can take your sweet time off the rotation over towards P4. Exceed knows he's already took a lot of space away on this side of the map. Your teammates here in Lurks to assist you, but it's all about winning these gunfights, and Celium strikes first.
Yeah, Lurk's not quite able to get the player off the mantle, and that will be another set of kills going the way of Riyadh. Really nice moment here to open up the hard point. Down to within 20 points. Cell just kind of finessing through where the old hard point was. Not often you see him in that kind of a position, but it works out nicely for Riyadh. But now maybe a moment of panic as the Carolina Royal Ravens make their way across the map. Celium will still spawn close, but now we have to play and defend this from inside the hill. Cell will get you one. Follow-up from Exit from the front is good. Just down to who cleans up who on the hill itself. Damage is out. Last player will fall, and their Falcons will hold.
Yeah, that's beautifully played right there from the Falcons on their spread setup there. Exton was aggressive through the front side. He knows that all the press is going to be around the back end, so he just needed a couple players to get a couple clutch gunfights. And this time it's Kismet in that same position, almost lines up 3. But what was a perfect hold from the Ravens on the P3 is responded by a perfect hold from Falcons on the P4. They keep their lead, and now it's a race off the rotation into new.
Cell, unexpected. in terms of playing up against Craze up close and personal, who turns that into an impressive double over the top of the barrel. Exceed shuts down the play on the overextension. Pred now trying to find an opening right through the middle of the map, and he will get the player off the hard point, but Carolina find the trade. Stabilizing spawns, they'll get right back into the hard point, but Kismet, Cell, all of them looking really solid to the moment. So we'll take a look to see how Riyadh finesse through this as we go to Riyadh Falcons. Listen in.
That's one shot, guys. That's nice. I have all right. I'm pushing.
Just a quick listen in there as we jump back over into the actual action. 127 plays 94, and now as we rotate back over to P1, it's just Pred inside the hardpoint check.
Yeah, this is perfect though from Falcons on the last 2 HPs. You basically get 100 points and give up absolutely nothing to the Ravens. You're just chaining hard point after hard point, just like you're chaining in the kill feed. Another 4 dead. Celium trying to create an extra layer to work over towards this P3 side to set up a dirty pinch. But Falcons have flipped the switch and they are not letting the Ravens breathe at all.
Well, Exted right through the middle turbine. Yeah, and that's just beautiful stuff. Yeah, dude, they are absolutely frying. And now Carolina are just having a hard time even figuring out what they want to do with 30 seconds remaining. Got to open up space somewhere on the map to try to at least stop some of this time from coming through, but you also don't want to risk getting pushed out of these spawns for P2. So just a tough moment of the game right now for Carolina.
Yeah, very tough situation to be in, but they know that they have to fight this time. Can't give up all this to just bank ourselves on a very tight setup at the P2. But every risk that you take contesting this, the more chances you have of spawning all the way across the map. Now it's only going to be on Craze. Single-handedly trying to hold down the spawns, is able to take down one. The finesse good, but not good enough. Falcons win the rotation to P2.
Yeah, and the nades will also read that the Ravens are trying to hit this through the jump wall alley. Over the middle, no problems there. Exit almost takes that into a double, but it will be Craze. Last one left alive. Spawns are still close here for Riyadh. And as they deal with it, now we'll take a listen in to see how Riyadh for real this time is coming it out.
Dead. One more in the corner. Nice shot. Nice. Get that. Spawning in the back on you. Spawning in the back. Watch your cross. Watch your cross. Watch your cross. I have the cross. I have your cross. You're crossing that. I have your cross. Watch out. Fucking shit on! I have your cross. I'm crossing. One shot. Absolute note. I got you, here, dead. Nice, so good fucking shit. Watch out. Nice. I'm gonna play dubs, MC, you heard? Yeah. Where is it? Talk to me. I don't know. Front. Help. Help front, guys. Help front. I'm helping. Leave P1 to it. I'm getting wall runs. Nothing, wall runs. All front, guys. Nothing. Front. Near front. Guys. I have the right. I spawned out. Right, one shot. I'm making time. Dude, we can see me. One here. I found a few guys. Run, dead. Nice. One more front, Nero dead. Let's come in, maybe. I don't see anything front. One shot. You're fine. I'm laying down. I better. I'm gonna hit me front.
Well, close first rotation, but since that point, Jay, it has been all Riyadh, and really it's been all Exnet. He has been all over these last couple of hills, and the Falcons will not be able to win here, but wow, this has been a huge set of 3 hills in a row.
Oh yeah, Ravens haven't been able to do anything since the first set. You go from the P1, Falcons dominate, chain it to the P2, again win a rotation to P3. This is what happens when you're doing the fundamental part correctly. You're just always in the driver's seat, never playing from the back foot. And now you only need 16 points to close out this game if you are the Falcons. Exit, finessing around P4, is able to line up a double, create the extra layer, finds kill number 4 in a row. This is GG.
Last 3 seconds gonna come through casually, and the passion, the energy from the Riyadh Falcons put together just an absolute masterclass in that second set of hills. Legitimately, I don't know if you can point to one thing they did wrong. Everything felt so calm, so in control, and it just is everyone pulling more than their 25% weight. I mean, we even saw Cell with the sub out try to hit little routes when he's got himself the opportunity to do so. So the really good stuff for the Falcons, and what started off as a bit of a back and forth affair ends up being a blowout.
Yeah, they just controlled the game after that first go around at the P3. Like, Carolina got a full 60 there, but everything after that was all Falcons. I'm pretty sure at the end of that P3 out, they ended with like 84 points. They closed out the game with 100. So they got steamrolled the rest of that game due to just the pressure that the Falcons had. Everyone was whipping out an SMG at certain points. You could hear it when we jumped into the listening. AG was firing. He was letting Saud know, good stuff, duo. That's how we get it done. And they were just setting pitch after pitch up for free kills all over the map. And that's just a dominant Blackheart from a really good Blackheart team.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, 2-1 on the map. Their only loss was to face Vegas by 17 points. Everything else has been nail-biters through and through. So, yeah, for Riyadh, this one definitely feels like it's cooked and it's cooked well. I mean, realistically, you look at just kind of how they've played across all the hard points. You can say the same thing about their Colossus. Like, they're just good on these mixy maps, these kind of more bang-out maps. And it's not even the fact that they just, like, brute force their way through some of the setups. They're manipulating the spawns and getting reads on them very quickly. And I feel like they have an upper hand in a lot of teams that are out there right now in terms of how, when, why, like all the different things that you need to do to move spawns around and string hills together on a small map. It's just not easy to do, and Riyadh have done a really nice job of showcasing the best way of doing it.
Yeah, it's good that they also have players who can win individual gunfights, who are just roaring with confidence. Exton and Brett were setting the tone early on. Kismet and MC, it's just your job to just stabilize on the map. Make sure you hit a hard block once or twice, because when those SMGs are firing the way that they were, communicating the way they were, and how synced they were in that map, number one, the game is just that easy. So when you take a look at this game flow out, look at that. You see that? That is an absolute blowout in the second half of the game. Carolina just flatlined all of the second half.
I mean, we just don't ever see rotation win after rotation win after rotation win on this map like that from Riyadh. And then again, like, you go up to the first set of hills, it wasn't like Carolina was playing poorly. They were even up at one point in time. But it's just the simple fact that once you get into that blender and you're trying to make tough decisions with like 25 seconds remaining on a hard point, do we hit again with scattered spawns? Do we chalk and rotate? It's never really felt like the Ravens had a good idea of what they needed to do or what they even wanted to do in the first place. So good stuff from the Falcons to get themselves a hot start. Now the Scar Search and Destroy comes up next, a map that is another run back from when they played Cloud9, if you're talking about Riyadh in particular. And they had a good start, but just could not quite close out Cloud9. They dropped a handful in a row and lost 6-3, whereas for Carolina, haven't played it in a while. It's all the way back to Major 1 qualifiers where they beat Optic Texas here 6-3.
Yeah, so they should have a similar understanding to like how they played Den. The same thing for Scar. Like, we need XC to be the early tone setter, to force them to be a little bit scared of the boomstick on your side, because Exceed, one of the best snipers that we have so far throughout this season, he's going to hit his shots. And when he hits his shots, it makes the game pretty easy for the Ravens. On the opposite side, though, for the Falcons, this used to be their bread and butter search and destroy until we watched them versus Cloud9. A majority of those rounds, they're finding first blood and they're letting them slip. They had got 1v3 by the young gun and Nezra. And I think a lot of that is just due to the success that they usually find on attack. They couldn't find it versus Cloud9, even off of the first blood. So got to be a little more tight, team-oriented here for the Falcons if they want to try to go up 2-0.
Yeah, and I think there's just been general concerns when you look at Riyadh and their search and destroy. It has been in the efficiency numbers, whether that's on post-plant setups or if it's on first blood conversions. It's just finding a way to manipulate the map when you have advantages has often been kind of a problem for this Riyadh team, and we haven't seen them win a search and destroy in this qualifier as of yet. So a tall task, I think, in terms of trying to iron out some of the creases, especially considering that this map, at one point in time, we thought Riyadh had a really good handle on, but not necessarily, at least based on what we saw versus Cloud9 there. Whereas for Carolina, it still feels like this team is like, I don't know how to explain it, but like not like getting to know themselves on search and destroy, but after they pick up Exceed and they go on that run in the Major 1 qualifiers, it just hits like a complete dead stop. They just have not been able to find success outside of the one map win that they've had versus Toronto. So we'll see. Both teams desperately wanting to find some success on search, and we'll get at least a look at Riyadh's offense to get us kicked off.
Yeah, Falcons just going to go for an early fill-out round. Great at finding the first play, specifically on the attacking side, and they continue to find it. This time on the craze in towards Delhi. You have the man-up advantage of shooting through the wall to make sure no one's going to be a rat towards the top side of Motel. But the play is bound to start to go down today.
And it will successfully come down, even though there's a lot of nades in front of Kismet, but he cannot get away from that damage. Nero is able to find first blood, but Pred finds Nero on the other side of the map, and Exted catches lurks over the top of the smoke. Exceed, scope out, that was seen, easy follow-up, and, well, I'm surprised that's the way that post plant broke down like that, because it looked like Carolina was about to just hit the gas pedal and flood them, but Riyadh was perfectly prepared.
Yeah, it's just like once they got that blood onto the guy that got the bomb down, you turn it into a 3v3, and instead of committing on a team push, you still play very slow on your side of Motel. Rely on a spread setup, and then that's when you allow Pred, the island player on the opposite side of the map, to win a one-on-one. Once that kill goes down, it forces you to turn around, and you're just not prepared for the gunfights over towards red. So on the back of the first blood there for Falcons, don't waste any time to get the objective down, and just have individual players able to clutch up on one-on-one gunfights to take the first round.
They'll exceed back with the scope in hand. A little bit of a double setup here for Riyadh. We've seen this before. Try to run around the outside of the wall, and Nero may have just missed timing, as Selim will gain the angle and push Nero off. So now an opportunity for Riyadh to determine what they want to do with this flank. Whereas for the Ravens, they feel the urgency, and they're going to go for the plant while Kismet's belly crawling up top of Motel.
They just don't want to waste any time. Nero's trying to get isolated, potentially on the pinch, but Kismet has been crawling all throughout the top side of Motel. Makes it a 4v2. Lurch is able to find one, still manageable for the Ravens, but now it's a 1v2.
Yeah, it exceeds, able to find the pistol for one, but doesn't expect that Selim was there. So yeah, that late flank, that play off the white wall, pushing Nero off top blue, super successful for Riyadh.
Yeah.
Although initially I think you're looking at like Kismet, he gets the first and then hops down. There wasn't help immediately there. You think maybe a little bit too soon, could have been a little bit more polished, but regardless, Nero getting pushed off top blue was everything for Riyadh on that flank.
Yeah, it's just because like that small gap of potentially someone could have pushed through off of me getting back down in this position forces you to think a little bit more. And that's what allows the Falcons to find the first blood, instantly capitalize for the second, have the man advantage for the retake, and then just leave Exceed, knowing that he has a sniper pistol as the last man standing. We can isolate him. So beautifully played so far from the Falcons here on Scar.
Yeah, really good. Exnid's 5-1 start, and he's been having a really good season to this point. Kismet sniping up top of Motel. Pred will once again watch over towards B field. And the bomb carrier of Exnid is considering pushing beyond this range of the scope, but we'll have to be cautious, especially considering that there are so many Ravens mid-map, but Lurks over peaks and gets picked.
Yeah, there's just no need for Lurks to overpeak there because your teammates down low are covering the bomb site. They haven't worked the objective yet, but you give them the first blood. Now you're looking to make up for it. You're trapping yourself up towards the site, but Exceed with the sniper. Heglish in the bomb finds a kill, 3v3.
Yeah. Cell drops that mid-map, so now all of a sudden Riyadh, without the bomb, have to try to create something out of nothing. But with a scope and a sub, you could try to do some damage here at mid. Problem is, Carolina, I think, are pretty aware of that and have just backed up and said, we will just play this one in a retake if we have to. Watch for crosses to A, set up around B. Kismet. Oh, the timing here is exquisite. Finds the first, picks up a weapon. Does he get the second? Oh my goodness, from Kismet. And then the third. No way. What a piece of COD timing for Kismet. Picks up the rifle, John Wick style midair, turns it into two, and then Pred's got your back for the final.
It's just like, I don't understand why Craze is taking the risk of potentially getting bad timing when everything else is being watched. Like, Kismet single-handedly gets this done off of great Call of Duty timing. This is Craze's cut, but just goes back and forth, drops him in M15, and he's prepared for the second gunfight. And Exceed only has a Jaeger to work with, so Kismet gets it done, and then Pred the closer in the one-on-one. Falcons steal that round away.
Unbelievable. What a play from Kiz and Pred. That'll get this Sunday started. Carolina need a response, down 0-3. Craze mid-map, first look that we've seen something like this, and he will find Pred for first blood. That was Selim looking maybe like he wanted to try to push up to white wall, but now has to read at mid, and Kismet is there to pick up the pieces. We'll go 3v3 early.
This shouldn't turn into a one-on-one gunfight at all when you find an early first blood. But bomb is still going to get planted here for the Ravens. They're just going to be trapped over towards the Motel side because Exnid is already on the pinch.
Waiting to see someone by Sat. Catches Lurks with the timing of Nero challenging that leads to a two-piece for him. Goodness gracious. So now it's just down to Cell, 1v3. Lurks is right above him. And, well, Cell's got to read on the other two, but I think that's Nero who gets everything there at the end. So, yeah, just another piece of timing. This time goes the way of Carolina. Exton had an opportunity, but as he pulls his scope up, it's Nero who chowls low. And yeah, Nero does get this last kill. So what, 3 in the round for him, I believe.
Yeah, and it's all off the bait and switch out of his teammates. Just being in the right spot at the right time. He's able to secure 3 to close out the round there for the Ravens. Craze strikes for the first blood. Gets a little aggressive, too much in towards yellow. Still makes it a 3v3, but you don't waste any time. You get the bomb down. You're more than willing to play your trap setup over towards Motel. And Nero, able to find 3, secures the first for Ravens.
Shots towards Exton. Now has Kismet thinking he may have an opportunity to find first blood to the front, and he will. Fred catches another before dropping to the pistol of Exceed. So numbers now greatly in favor of Riyadh, and they may think about trying to swing this to Celium's direction now that he's at top green. Carolina's nearby, but patience now to see if Cell can find something.
Yeah, I think with Cell in this position, you just want to wait a little bit longer, make sure your pinch is going to be watched, but the play should be developing over towards A. Because if that guy contested you on the site, Cell's in a position to instantly get the trade, but you know that Exceed is still alive, so he has a sniper pistol, most likely in a long distance angle, but bomb plan is still man up.
And Exceed, a little caught, pistol, almost able to track, but Cell falls a little bit too fast, and that's enough for the elimination to come through now onto Lurks for a 1v3. And Kismet is just watching corners. Sexton going to rewrap around the back, and then Celium's making sure no antics happen up top. Good stuff there, and this has been really, really solid through and through for the Falcons. Really good.
Yeah, their adjustments on their attacking rounds is the biggest thing I wanted to focus on. And so far, they're undefeated on that side of the court. Finding first bloods when the chaos brews in towards the deli, they're walking away with the numbers, and then just playing it patient, trying to gather some information before you get the objective down, but then once you get some, you're committing as a team. So Falcons quickly making their adjustments for what happened yesterday versus C9, up 4-1.
Yeah, it's been really good. Kind of a must-win round here for Carolina, and they're just going to go right into the battle through A. Craze has taken a lot of damage and was stunned, but is able to survive up tight. And how about this look for Riyadh? They've put some pressure over towards B field, which may have Nero kind of looking that direction, but he's playing a different angle this time from top blue, finds the information plus a kill, and the plant will come down 4v3, retake on the way.
And Nero still knows that he's surrounded by the players on the side of the Falcons. Has this guy one shot, smoke grenade, not going to keep you alive, and I thought he was going to be able to find the kill number 3. But Celium's able to get the trade. 25 seconds to go. Ravens have taken the opposite side of the map. They know they're on the pinch.
Yeah, move the post plant around to the other side. Give Exceed a chance to connect, but comes up short. Cell able to find one before dropping. So now to the 1v2 for Exnid. Has got some space, but not a lot of time to play with. And this, yeah, he may run out of time on this. Just to find this kill quickly. And yeah, Crazen's going to make this mistake. He backs up, knows he's got the clock as his ally, and still pushes through the final kill. Carolina stay alive.
Yeah, and that's Nero 2 times now. Where Carolina have gotten around on the board is off of the back of his play. That time he single-handedly is watching the pinch, finds the first blood, tucks himself in the corner, and is able to manage to get a second before falling. And as soon as he gets that second kill, all information gained. Teammates don't waste any time to push through Motel. And just the finesse, the smoke grenade, all assists Nero in that second gunfight. Ravens get their second on the board.
Kismet trying to feel things out up top. Not going to get any connections with the stun, so we'll have this potential sniper battle, depending on how far either of these two decide to go. And Exceed is wiggling. Yeah, there's the X-ray off for a moment. Kismet shows himself, and that will land. Nate does tag, but okay, there's the follow-up a little bit deeper. So immediate punish for the first blood turns into an early 3v3. Both snipers off the table, but Exnid has picked up the scope. See what he can do with this.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do anything because Craze is crawling his way through top Motel. So the longer you wait, the better positioning Craze is going to get, and just chooses the right time to strike for the kill. Teammates stand to assist them. Now it's a 1v3 for Celium. Stands no chance. And the Ravens now starting to come to life. Teamwork is making the dream work. And Exceed finds that first blood with the snipe. Sets up Craze to make that play.
Yeah, really good stuff. I think it's just impressive enough to know that how you're setting up your defense around this round, allowing Craze to still play this angle, knowing that Nero's got everything locked over towards B, and you've got Lurks just kind of floating to make sure no one is going to hit down low or play over towards Shops. Like, it's a thin defensive line, but it's one that works out nicely, and large that's just down to the flexibility that Nero showcased in this round, playing pretty much a hard scope defense at B.
Now Carolina with back-to-back rounds now, making this a search and destroy, but that's a risk you don't want to take in that angle. Exceed gets team shotted by Celium and Exted for the early first blood, and now time is ticking away. Ravens know we're in a man down. We can't rush plays. Someone has to go for a scam.
Yeah. Problem is, I was gonna say, the scope being down means that clearing out this B field will be difficult to do. Craze nearly able to peel a head off a one, but instead we'll have to reset. Now you got to push over to A, and I like this out of Kismet. Just play a 1-for-1 corner right here, and yeah, you may even get more than that. It's a clean first win. Slides out, not going to get the second, and we'll probably get shrugged off that top staircase position. But now if you're Carolina, you know that this flank is likely a potential.
Yeah, Celium knows as soon as Kismet goes down, I'm instantly going to work my way through the backside. And you're able to spot him on the low side of this bomb. So with 25 seconds left to play, has to be committed over towards A. Celium on the pinch, gonna call the round. Finds a freebie, sets up shots for the second exit. He's able to close it. But Falcons now at game point.
Yeah, clean. And it's just another one of those moments that you lose out your scope who's trying to play over towards B field like that. It just puts that flank into an immediate concern, no matter what you end up doing. So it's a decent effort for Craze to try to pick it up and still find a kill to stop that play from happening. But once you know you have to go to A, that's just so difficult to know how you put your post plant together if you can even get one. So good awareness from Riyadh on the other side. Again, they're still playing this map really darn well. And they're showing us a lot of really different looks defensively, which you have to kind of tip the cap to. We've seen a lot of variability in how they want to play off that flank, if at all. So 5-3 the count. 4-man hit here for Carolina right on the top of the point. Craze Lurks able to find two, but the pinstripe kill feed until Kismet has the last word over the middle of the map. Last one to find is up and over. Shots aren't necessarily there initially, but they will be eventually. Riyadh will close the map out 6-3 and go up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, Ravens couldn't stop them on their attacking routes. So that's why they just went back to the let's just push through A, try to win this with gunfights. And unfortunately, before committing on that side of the map, mid-map is completely open, and Kismet finds it and capitalized for a double to close out the search and destroy. Falcons lost two defenses. What they are really good at on this map is the attacking side. And the fact that they go undefeated on that side of the map, yeah, they got that one done pretty easy.
Well, it's a really good start from Exted. He slowed down just a little bit. He was 5-1 at one point, but then Kismet starts to turn up, finishes 10-6. Damage across the board, pretty darn good. Pred not really able to do too much. I mean, 477 damage, but still was able to finish off a couple of kills and was mostly just the last guy standing in a lot of the defensive rounds that we had. We're on the other side, again, pretty even across the board, but it's just one of those things that the playbook continues to tilt in favor of the Falcons. The first blood battle, the efficiency that we were talking about before the map started, also very, very well credited to Riyadh. So a chance for them to get a 3-0 here. And like we kind of talked about, you know, this is kind of a prove it point series for Riyadh after having a really hot finish to Major 1 qualifiers. Didn't show up necessarily with the same effect on LAN, but now we're starting to wonder, do these guys just beat up on the bottom four teams? Because outside of the one win versus Paris, they really haven't found much success anywhere else. So we'll find out if they can kind of keep that trend moving and get a swift 3-0. Otherwise, for Carolina, can they bounce back on the exposure overload? We'll find out when we come back after the break.
Scuff, official controller of the CDL. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
COD Champs tickets are on sale now. Come see the best teams lock in for this season's grand finale in fabulous Las Vegas. All 4-day passes come with early venue access. Head to phasevegas.com or scan the QR code to get your tickets now.
What do they have to give yourself a fighting chance here in the series? Real, ruthless aggression. Another on stairs, can't get it. It's Kremp with 2. It's now down to Lucky. And will he be that in this 1v2 situation? Here they come. Finds the first. Oh my God! Lucky! Dios mío, how has he done that?
They're playing my court. They have to play. They are both water. One shot. There's two water. They went red, Clay. Yeah, they went red. Both red, both inside red, both inside red. They went front door. He's hopping. Watch water. I have your word. Back door. They didn't see you yet. Nice! Let's go, Clay. Yes, sir.
We're in the middle, run. I'll get bomb checks. I'll go top and get bomb checks. Hold pinch. Make sure somebody gets bomb checks. I'll get bomb checks. He can go third. I'll go for He's telling you. Back him up. Not weak. I'm upset. He said, should be sent. He said something. What was that?
Impossible situation.
They've done it. The first points of the season for the Vegas Falcons.
Series win. Vindication. They did it.
We got effects and everything.
This guy Alex, unbelievable. First series win for the Vegas Falcons. Vindication. For all 4 of those
I can't believe it. Oh my God.
Unloved champions across the board. They have only done it.
Welcome back there, friends. We are in match number 1 here on our Super Sunday 4 in total today. Long slate worth of games for Major 2 qualifiers. And so far, it has been all Falcons all the time. It was a close first rotation on Blackheart, Jay, and then it was not. After that, 6-3 on the search. Everything's just feeling really nice and comfortable right now for Riyadh.
Oh, yeah, without question, man. They are out teamworking Carolina without question, man. We're talking about the fundamental aspect of the game, just beating them to the punch on the hard points makes it look easy. Offense, we're finding first bloods, we're not throwing around situations. And now you're going into exposure overload, where Celium is the #1 KD of the entire season. So this is going to be tough for Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, but Nero's right behind him. Hey, they've got that going for you. It's just that Cell's got nearly double the kills. So, yeah, I think it's been an interesting storyline for Riyadh looking at their overload overall, because they looked miserable in December on this game mode. To be fair, they also played LA and Optic on Den, which we would later know is probably their best map mode combo for both those 2 teams. But as they start to get through, then all of a sudden you go on this long winning streak. And I'll be honest, like, that's where I feel like this Riyadh surge to get the wins that they did over teams like G2 and Paris and stuff like that were largely because they were continually winning map 3. That's just something that you put into your back pocket, and you're going to give yourself the best chance possible to win a series.
Yeah, and with exposure being the map number 3, Celium being #1 KD, when I take the time to look at who they played on exposure, Boston, Carolina, C9. So that tells you that FC's most likely just slaying these guys to bits. He's dominating versus the weaker opponent. And Carolina, you got them up against again. Just do the same exact thing.
I hear that. Well, hey, here's the thing. If you want to come watch some of this action in person, don't forget about DreamHack Atlanta Major 3 coming up in May, just short of both your birthday and my birthday, Jay. We'll be celebrating together there. But we'll get single day tickets on sale now. Hit the QR code, and I'm telling you, if you've not been to a DreamHack before, you need to go. It is so much fun. And DreamHack Atlanta is an insane venue right in the heart of downtown at the convention center. It's just an awesome spot to be, especially that time of year. It's going to be sick. So make sure you get your tickets if you have not done so already. Make the trip. Atlanta is such an easy airport to fly into. Just do it. Just make it happen. Do it. And of course, make sure you come champs, because that's what we want. But I think the other thing about, hey, this series at large, Is this like, and I don't like mean to bring in the negative side of things, is this a panic series for Carolina if you get 0-3 here? Like not having a win besides just being Toronto in a close-ish series, like do you get a little bit scared about what this Carolina roster may do if they don't find success in any form versus Riyadh here?
No, I 100% do, man, because you saw yesterday versus the Mage, you could fight. Like a majority of those matches were very tight. You could have at least forced that game number 5, but this is a series that should be a little bit more easy to handle, and they are getting handled with ease by the Falcons. Like the game one shouldn't be that easy. You got to be able to cut your losses and win a rotation to some of these hard points, especially on Blackheart because it's so punishing, but you don't do that. Then you go to the search and destroy. You're giving up a lot of these early first bloods, and even when you're finding first bloods, you're forcing one-on-one gunfights to still give them the advantage. It's just right now, Carolina seem a little bit out of sync. Like the chemistry that we saw throughout stage 1 is completely out the window, and they just need like something, some kind of momentum, maybe a map, maybe a series win to completely try to turn it around, because they just look like they're all on different pages.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. I mean, it's just interesting, I think, just to see how things have moved so rapidly, especially the search and destroy. You know, I think this last map was one that there were a couple of, there should have been unlosable situations. Like, you just can't drop things like 1v3s or 2v4s, rather, things of that nature. And it just felt like, again, like you mentioned, that coordination, the things that don't necessarily show up on the scoreboard are just not quite there, not quite locked in. And to be fair, like, this is a young roster when you look at Craze and Lurks, but we're past talking about the young moniker for players like Exceed and Nero. They have been in and out of either challengers or the league now for the better part of the last 6 years. So it just feels like it's just not coming together in the right ways, and they need a spark and they need it quickly, otherwise it may fall apart.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know if this is all due to what happened at the event that just forced these guys to basically not trust each other, because you even saw it in this highlight, that 2v3 where Kismet gets really good timing. Craze is thinking, my teammates aren't spotting anything, but let me just be in a position to try to help them just in case, instead of just focusing on my cut. So all that trust factor, the ice, the honeymoon stage right now for the Ravens is just not here anymore. And now this is where you got to find yourself, like backs against the wall. Your identity is going to be shown. And right now, they haven't shown that they can fight with anyone when they're down and out.
I hear that. Well, we'll see if they can find some magic in the overload. It did provide some, I would say, great looks for them so far. Not just in their win versus Toronto, but I still maintain, like, they played Paris close in both hard points, and of course they did win the Den overload. I just wonder if we're actually going to see like a true identity, because like this is kind of a weird thing to say on like a broadcast, but it just feels like the Ravens aren't really setting up the plays that they're named. They're just kind of taking what they find, and that's not like a bad thing. It's just, it doesn't feel as structured as some of our top teams overall when it comes to looking at overload, like looking at your optics, looking at your phases, where everything feels like it's part of a game plan. It feels like Carolina's almost like improvising their way through some of these wins.
Yeah. And on the opposite side, when you take a look at the Falcons' road to the major, obviously you start off versus the General Mage, you lose that one. You go up against Boston, you lose that one. That's what really forced us to like just think about this team potentially of making a roster change. But you take care of Cloud9, you're currently taking care of the Ravens. Going forward, you got some really tough matchups like FaZe. That one's going to be a grueler, because last time that they matched up, what was it, a game number 5? They just couldn't do it at the event, but I don't know. Falcons got to just take care of one at a time.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the story for everybody in this longer slate. It's the first time we've seen it where everyone's going to play everyone in Major 2 during this qualifying period. So you're going to have some series where you're going to feel like, okay, these are must wins to get ourselves set up for the tournament overall. And there's going to be others that you're feeling like, okay, this is a true test for us. And where are we? Kind of a status check of what's going on with the squad. For this one, though, for Riyadh, it should be about taking care of business. We've got ourselves a 2-0 count, and we're finally looking at the exposure overload with Riyadh. They've shown us this look before where they try to get Kismet active early, down low with a jump up, but now instead he's going to try to make his way over towards dirt side, and Carolina will be able to stall out the initial play.
Yeah, they were just trying to go right up the middle of Duzane to get an instant score, but when you don't find any kills, Ravens are easily able to shut that one down. But all mid-map control currently in favor of the Falcons. Selim looking for a one-on-one versus Craze. SMG is better in that close engagement, so he's able to get the better of him, but Ravens are fighting out of their spawn.
Big win there, though. Pushes Pred back. Exit trying to hit a pincher on the backside, and he will be able to kind of combine with Kismet for a couple. So there may be an opportunity here, but Lurk's playing his life very nicely. Stalls things out and allows at least a couple of members from the Ravens to get off spawn to try to help this. But Exit is still over here, bottom window, and that's not where you want him to be with a sub. Can't take care of him, though, and here we go. Pretty much clearing the front door, an opportunity to pick up the EMP and set up some sort of an attack.
Yeah, Ravens should have enough stuns and nades and the positionings to shut down this play if they decide to go over towards A, but Kismet with the beamer is able to find the opening kill. So it's going to force the rotation. Pred trying to hold down from top window, finds the timing through mid-zig for a one-on-one, and now you have information. The last two guys for the Ravens are on the pinch. We can score.
Yeah, and that's a really nice play there from Exnid and Cell. Like you mentioned, just kind of taking the information from Pred, clearing out mid. Now a chance to reset with a P2 spawn up here for the device. And Kismet has won another big fight around the back. So now it's just down to keeping your eyes forward. Nero trying to chase. He will be dropped. And there's going to be another score here for Riyadh. Carolina scrambling and trying to set themselves up towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, got to play the reset now. Thankfully, with the new spawns, you spawn closer to the position that you want to be in. But you need these fights to go your way. Exton and Celium already finding two. Exceed trying to work on this late pinch, is able to find one. You create the space over towards the A point, but no one has the EMP, so you're doing it for nothing.
But the space is good, and Cell on 4. Oh, gets a nice read onto Nero. So that's not 5 down and a chance for a Hellstorm. Carolina trying to set themselves up to make their move. They're going to find one out of Craze. Exit in trouble. Low on health will drop, and there will be a score just before Pred catches 2. Doesn't quite get the third, but we're down to within a 1-point game here, 2:30 on the clock.
Yeah, that's just Craze staying aggressive on the bottom side of ring. He's able to catch Falcons more on the defensive side. Just sitting in their spawn and just finds an opening double to get their first score on the board. So now the EMP back to the middle of the map. It's all about the early mid-map control, and Craze is winning one-on-one after one-on-one to try to get some teammates in the position that they want to be in. But now Celium just playing keep away.
Yeah, he's just got to play his life here and see if he can just do some damage to the device carrier, which he does, but Carolina still have some good pressure on the map. Let's see how they're coming through the moment here with the listen in with the Royal Ravens.
They're on point B. They're on point B. Take it right. I'm going to retry.
No. One's Hummer, outer.
Okay, Kismet's back before. They spawn back before. There's 2 back before.
I'm throwing a nade straight up. I'm in deep, guys. I'm in deep.
I have every confidence. They could be flanking. Yeah, I got it. Nothing con.
I got naded here.
Still got me deep. Need it? I'm so much out. I'm gonna hit out con.
Go for it.
Oh, he's on. Left side con. AG.
Top floor.
There's 2.
Con,
All four.
They're shaping right.
Nice shot. I full set him out. Weak. I'm on point, guys. 2 on point. No, they're both one shot. One's close right, and one's like back right. Like I started. He's full off now.
Stun. I faked on him. Enter. One shot, guys. On the jail. One shot. One more top. All in top.
Top. I'm dead.
Spawns mid.
Yeah.
One left.
Could be low.
Zig is running that. He's running
Zig. One left. Zig chop. He reshot me mid. Just tried it in eyeball.
Zig running eyeball at the point.
No, he's out mid.
One dead.
That's good shit.
All the AP.
Whatever.
Dead.
Could be Zig.
Zig, weak X-net. Zig.
Still Zig.
One more two below.
Hard stun. Nice Zig dead.
Taking a left.
Oh, he's already Zig. Or L, sorry. Short, Kismet. Look at short.
I'm nading dirt in front of us. Chow dirt. I'm nading dirt. I'm nading their barrel.
Yellow.
I'm top ring, guys. Top ring.
One's great. I heard you. Top ring.
I'm trying.
Still top ring, MC.
A really solid defensive stand right there for Carolina, and maybe a chance to do some damage here late, Jay. I mean, they've got to set up a little bit further forward. They just need the wave of kills to get this final score through.
Yeah, and Lurk was the lead blocker. He's at least able to take that one before falling, but Celium is still alive. Able to have a stop there for the Falcons. Now we are in the overtime. If Celium dies, the round is going to end, and that's exactly how it's going to go down. So Falcons come out the gates swinging. Quickly find back-to-back caps. Then once the game starts to slow on down and Ravens start to shoot a little bit better, they start to manage to maintain a little bit better in the map control aspect, get one on the board, and don't allow Falcons to completely run away with this game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment there, especially right at the tail end of the Royal Ravens listed in, that it looked like Riyadh were going to get a third. I mean, you kind of heard that call that Kismet was playing inside of Zig, somehow gets away with 2, but that last second hold from Exceed keeps this game tight in a half that until really the end there, once more was kind of determined and dominated by what Riyadh was doing. But good bounce back from Carolina, keeps them in the game. We'll swap the sides around, try again for this opening breakoff. And we've seen a lot of teams from the left-hand side that Carolina are on right now use that bottom dirt position as a way to open up space. This time Carolina instead going to play through P2 steps. And next did good read on the timing, or is it? Just looks away at the exact wrong moment, leaving Pred by himself. He will drop. Cell is at least able to get one back though, and that will keep things a little bit more stable. Has to do a little bit of a dance though inside of P3. And wow, Cell is trying to finesse, but Lurks eventually shuts him down. And here's a moment for Carolina.
Oh, yeah, their lead blocker, though, and Exceed was looking desperately for that second kill. And unfortunately, you only got a pistol in your hand if you're narrow. Get taken care of by Kismet. Now that forces Craze to get that trade and then wrap back to retrieve the EMP. Got to slow down your approach over towards this B point, though. Someone needs to be the lead blocker and find an opening.
Stun's going to land over towards B, but you're right. It's all about who can get forward here if you're Carolina. Well, Nero gives you one up top towards window. So that might be an opportunity for Craze to use that position, but just as he tries to swing it down towards A, he will drop. Follow up back for Nero on the trade is good, but Pred once more stops Carolina from finding any success through the defensive setup. So we set up and we go again. Riyadh trying to get back to the middle of the map, and Pred will find you the opener.
Yeah, Pred finds the opener, and now, you know, if you're the Ravens, everyone has to slow down because they basically have him trapped over towards his A side, but Exceed rips MC off the backside of the railing. They find a kill as well through top mid, so it's all on Exit. How long can he try to stall time here? No stuns, no nades, the score's in. Ravens side of the game.
Careful though, you've got Kismet already hitting a route through the B side of the map up top. Craze finds a couple on the backside, but you got to try to get over to this EMP. Kismet playing on one side of Solar, Exnid the other, but Lurk's almost able to get the shutdown there. That may have been an opportunity for a quick rebuttal and score, but instead he finds Pred through the spawn, and Exceed will take his time, walk this one in, and take a look at the minimap. Ravens are set up around the new point as well.
Yeah, Kismet has no idea what he's supposed to do right now. Like, he was the lead blocker, his teammates go dead, trying to wrap back to get the stop, get nothing done. But now he's back into the play. Ravens with 2 minutes and 45 seconds up by 1. Everyone coming off the respawn. The only one trying to work the pinch is going to be Lurks, but everyone is winning their one-on-ones besides Exceed. Kismet and Celium combined for 3-tie game. .220 on the clock. Time of possession right now for the Ravens at 65%. But now with 2 minutes left, this is where you drastically slow down. No one wants to make a mistake. Celium still on 4 in a row, sitting at top ring. He's just looking for one kill to potentially earn himself the Hellstorm, but he's just finessing his life. He's forcing the Ravens to keep on thinking. He's able to locate Narrow. Hellstorm earn. Exnid finds another kill. Someone grab the EMP. This should be a score.
Should be, but at mid, it's a little bit more difficult to get it through than maybe you'd think, and that's exactly the case as Cell just tries to stop any of this play from happening forward. And Craze, who's continuing to just hold his ground over through Zig,
good plays,
has done well to catch another. So there's an opportunity here where Carolina could, yeah, absolutely just clear out the window and then grab and go. Just comes down to which point do they want to go to, because the defense is starting to move around a little bit.
Yeah, Craze continues to just break them down. He single-handedly is the reason why they didn't get another score there. Now you have a chance to put one on the board on your own side. Finds kill number 6. Still knows that there's pressure around Zig, but your teammates are dropping like flies. You're turning left and right, can't figure it out, and the stop is in for the Falcons.
He had a chance to possibly counter until Exceed through mid. Knocks that down. I was about to say this would be a prime time to open things up with a Hellstorm, but as the EMP device carrier
grab the EMP out.
No one can drop it. That's right. Nobody can grab it, rather, I should say. So Cell will catch a couple eliminations, but the defense is going to spawn close to A. Pred working on the pitch. Kismet's able to find the opener. Exnid another. Is there enough to get the EMP through, though? No, as Cell, the last one standing, tries to get it through, but not going to happen. 40 seconds to reset.
You're so happy that that is when they decided to use the Hellstorm if you were the Ravens, because usually when a save Hellstorm's a call game. But they get the goal line stop. Now they have an opportunity to potentially not try to force the overtime if they can get the score on the board. Narrow is able to find 2. Lurks finds kill number 3. MC, your job is to just stay alive.
Looking like it very well may be overtime, but hold on a second. Carolina have possession. Defense for the Falcons trying to scramble back over, but Carolina may miss their window. Fred shuts the door quickly, and Cell will clean things up. Last one to grab would be Nero. 2 seconds on the clock. Nero drops, but just before overtime, so he will respawn, and we'll go 4v4 sudden death.
And look at how aggressive Pred is over towards that dirt side. He's going to be able to find a free first kill, and now this forces the Ravens to be a lot more aggressive. No one in a position to even think about the ball. They're all thinking about the gunfights, and they are getting ripped to shreds. 1v4 for XC.
Not gonna happen. Absolutely not. Oh man, what a fiery overload that was, though. And initially you start to think like, okay, if the Falcons get that kill onto Nero right as overtime connects, it's like that's going to be an easy 4v3, but you're absolutely right. Pred gets through at dirt. No one expects him to be there, including, of course, Carolina, who get picked apart, and from there, it's just all action. You pick up the pinch nicely. It's just none of the play coming together for Carolina there at the end as they try to get themselves through that final score, which was right at the finish line, just could not quite get it through the threshold. So all in all, a tight map, but it will be a Riyadh Falcons 3-0 in the series. And looking at the statistics, yeah, another big map from Sully, and we highlighted him as the KD leader in the mode. 27-16. 5 is his highest streak. 24, though, non-traded is what really stands out with the 3,700 damage. That's insane.
Yeah, Sully was just a hard guy to take down on the map, especially with the way that he was finessing his life. He earns himself a Hellstorm, doesn't really have a big impact on the map because of how good his M15 was. But Falcons successfully complete the 3-0. This is exactly what you wanted to do. Just walk into the building, take care of business. Map number 1 was dominant. You make the adjustments on the search and destroy, and then a grueler of an exposure overload is able to put the nail in the coffin on Carolina. And if you're all the Ravens now, like, I truly don't know what to think about this team anymore. They used to have search and destroy pretty much on lock with Exceed Sniper. Overload was great because they used to put up the most scores, but right now everything is just out of the window for Carolina. Teamwork is not making the dream work. They're challenging one-on-one gunfights, and they just don't look like a team that's going to compete with the best in the world.
I hear that. I mean, a lot of the scores in the maps have been close, but I think the big issues have been, again, how do you go from good to great? Has not quite been there, at least not through this stage of the Major 2 qualifiers, as we head back to the desk to give us their thoughts. And Allie, nice job. Good prediction.
Thank you.
On fire. Just what you do.
Fire. You know what I mean?
You've literally gained, what, two points over not only Chat, but also Nameless. And, of course, Puckett, man. Now you're killing it. What made you want to go with Falcons, though? Because, I mean, that pick, obviously, it could go either which way. We went Royal Ravens. Why were you firmly believing in the Falcons?
Oh, it's just a system diff for me. Like, when I look back at the series with Carolina Royal Ravens, it's like, yes, they have had moments of light, but it's usually off of individual plays and that momentum that then affects the rest of the team. Where when I look at a team like Riyadh, especially with the players and the talent that are on it, it's much more structured. You can tell that they want to get better, that when they're in these situationals, they're trying to make different decisions. So for me, it's just the system of Riyadh Falcons that I have more faith in than in Carolina Royal Ravens.
Well, taking a look at the highlights, a lot of great moments clearly throughout the series, but it was here that it started gaining our attention, the closest that we had throughout the series as a whole, finishing 4-3. Nameless, I know at a couple points you were losing your mind.
Yeah, this got pretty crazy. And, you know, for Royal Ravens, talking from their perspective, it just feels like, you know, when there's a little bit of adversity and it just comes down to individuals, right? Like the only time this map looked good was when Craze was making plays top window by himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then even at the end, like every time the moment gets a little tense, they crumble. They had the ball, they had an opportunity to maybe score the very end. They're a little bit too slow. B looked to be wide open, at least for a scoring opportunity. Rather than that, they decided to go through mid. So I thought Falcons did a good job of just kind of dealing with that at the end there. And then we get to the sudden death situation. They have lost 2 sudden deaths so far this split, if you're Falcons. So clearly they had the reps there and they had the discussions, because this sudden death was way better. Yeah, learn from your mistakes. So the sudden death approach, a lot better. Didn't immediately grab the ball, kind of played for information. Pred got loose. Right? So they learned from those 2 mistakes. And I thought today, at least, Riyadh, super consistent.
On fire.
Yeah,
on fire.
This team never shows up the same day in and day out.
You know, the thing is, though, Carolina Royal Ravens, I was hoping they would snap back after that loss yesterday, but clearly not the case. I mean, you can even see it in the player counts between maps and between rounds. Like, dude, these guys are just cooked at the moment. And they're going to have to all get back on the same page because we know they have the talent clearly to lead the charge. But right now, they are falling behind and hopefully not falling behind too quickly because there's some other teams making roster changes, starting to catch up. Let's look at some highlights, though. Our Scuff play of the game. We're going back to map 1, the SMG duo, Pred Xnid, tearing up the competition.
I mean, I told you this is what was going to happen, right? On a map like Blackheart, like I look at this roster, I look at Pred and what he's capable of doing, especially when you give him so much freedom to just do whatever he wants. I look at Celium and the amount of numbers and the aggressive AR that he is. And Xnid, if there's anything about Xnid, you know, let alone him being a sponge, really taking things, exactly. And he's got Gunny, he can win that 1v1. So for me, Red Falcons are a great slaying team. Blackheart should be a map that they are comfortable spawning in on every time.
Yeah, on that map, the second rotation was all Riyadh. Like literally every hill, they out-rotated and, you know, set up pushing all the way out, like not checking corners if you're Carolina. Just so many things going wrong for them. But today, Riyadh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. Let's go ahead and talk to one of the players for our Monster Winner Spotlight. We got Kismet the Bulldog. What's going on, man? How you feeling? Big win.
Feeling good, man. A 2-0 weekend this weekend after the last weekend is big for us, especially with two teams not going. So feeling confident.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man, because inconsistencies. That's been one of the storylines when it comes to your roster specifically. Sometimes we don't know what we're going to get. You know, an emotional team, I guess you could say. I don't know if you agree with that, but, you know, when things are going well, things are great. When things start going bad, it's hard to get on the same page. What could you add to that, right? The inconsistencies. How does your team or how has your team been working on becoming a more consistent roster?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that we're working on is trying to find that footing when things aren't going perfect, right? I mean, you got to think, like, I'm on a new role. You know, we have players that have never played with each other before. So it's a lot of new stuff that we have to work out. I mean, it's still early, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of good things that show. And I mean, we're just ironing out the bad. And I mean, we keep it within our camp and we're doing a good job with that and just going to keep grinding through, you know, the bads and, you know, have these goods as well.
And how's Clay helping out with all that, man? How's he been an impact for your roster?
Clay's good, man. Clay's good. I really like him as a coach. He's you know, I've always had a lot of respect for Clay, and I think him being an ex-pro like helps a lot whenever he's talking a lot about, you know, the situations. Even me as an AR, I'm asking him a lot of times. I'm like, you know, this is all new to me, man. Like, what worked for you? What, you know, how did you get so good? And then, you know, he's trying to, you know, help me with that, but also still letting me be me. So shout out, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important. You did change roles when evaluating your performance throughout the year. I want to ask you today, specifically in the S&D, you're one of the best search players we've had in the CDL, and specifically an in-game leader. Today, it looked like you got a little bit more loose with the sniper early on, and then after with advantages taking space. Was that something you guys watched in film and you thought like, hey, there's opportunity here? How did you get to that play style today?
Yeah, I think for me, like I kind of talked with the guys and we were like, you know, for me, like respawn is like one thing I can learn, like how to play the flex position. But I was like, S&D, man, like we could still let me do me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think we had that conversation with that and like trying to make sure that I feel free in that regard, but still making sure everybody is in the right positions. Because sometimes I'm going to play slower, sometimes I'm going to play fast. But I don't want to change my whole identity in that game mode because I feel like I can still get away with, you know, how I want to play that mode. And I think I've been on good S&D teams, so I just want to keep doing that, you know?
Yeah, you showcased that today, Kiz.
Yeah.
You're on point.
I think this conversation's heading in a great direction because kind of what you were saying earlier, there's some situations you can't really prep for, you know, and those are kind of things you have to learn as you go when you're in the games. You know, people always say scrims are so much different than when you're in the real thing. Going off of Search and Destroy, you've been the main sniper for this team, and today, I mean, you were hitting the shots. It was like night and day. What is practicing with that like? And then kind of adding that to your role, how do you even get better at that? Is it just something you have to pull out in scrims? Do you have to do some outside work on your own? Talk to me through that.
Yeah. I mean, as far as a sniper, like, I like sniping, but I still want to, like, have a, you know, flexible with it. Like sometimes I want to snipe, sometimes I want to use a sub. Like I want to give you different looks. As far as practicing with a sniper, I mean, it's a little weird in scrims because sometimes people, you know, just take egregious chows and then sometimes they don't. So like, I think a good way for me practicing is like, because of the aim assist thing, like honestly just going in pubs and sniping pub kids without aim assist and just practicing with that.
Right.
Just hop in a rank, bro. Those guys are demons.
I play rank too. I mean, I love rank play. I've been slamming. My boy Colt, shout out.
Hell yeah.
Have you ran across him yet in rank play?
No, I haven't played him yet. I haven't played the Bulldog yet.
He's always bragging about the pros and everything he goes against, man.
He did beat Xnid, though.
He's coming at you next. Hey, Kismet, big win. Good job, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
All right,
This
huge.
guy's trying to Q snipe.
Hey, bro, I just want to see. I remember casting over you back in the day, man. I just want to see you go against the pros once again. There it is, first series out of the way, but it doesn't mean we're done for the day. 3 more to go. Coming up next, it's going to be Vancouver Surge going against Boston Breach. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Black Ops 7 returns to the Esports World Cup in Riyadh this summer. Scan the QR code to be notified when tickets go live later this month. Start the season strong with the 2026 Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL operator by scanning the QR code on screen or check it out in the Call of Duty store in-game now. Scuff, official controller of the CDL.
Ken Sparrow.
Nice. Around me.
Last guy red, he's low. Stay low.
I'm 245. Oh, sorry. I got it.
He just pushed you out. Push you up.
To your right. Oh my God.
He jumped right in front of you, my boy.
That was unlucky.
He literally jumped on in front of you.
That's him. Bro.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
Standy will get free info here onto Assault. Quickly finds the kill. No.
Whoa! He's going for the assassination. Didn't hold the button down long enough. And Assault says not so fast.
Let me tell you right now, these guys play every day. You should know you cannot assassinate someone when they are a little bit taller than you on the map. And unfortunately, the 1v doesn't work, but you know them hands from Assault. They are definitely warm. 2 punches right to the chest to take down Standy.
Emergency broadcast system announcing the Boston Breach sanctioned by the city. All weapons have been authorized for use during the breach. No restrictions. This is breach, not a test.
Time for our second series. Vancouver Surge going against Boston Breach. Let's start touching on Boston Breach and who they are and what they're bringing to the table today. This team currently, I believe, 1-2. Got some work to do. The only win going against Falcons, which actually speaks volumes about what this team could be after watching Falcons perform as well as they did just a second ago against Carolina Royal Ravens. So I'm thinking Boston Breach looking pretty good today.
I feel like you're a little confused looking at Boston, right? Because now they have that win versus Riyadh, and then we just saw the Riyadh that looks like they could go to a Sunday, and now they're going up against Vancouver Surge, and they showed no life versus LAD. So it's a little back and forth for Boston. I feel like this is probably the most even matchup they've had in a while, which might sound awful coming out of my mouth because of how Vancouver Surge has looked. But for me, Vancouver Surge has just been really falling short. Like, I think that their makeup isn't necessarily bad. I feel like they are an above average team, and it just hasn't really shown yet when it comes to statistics. And for Boston, their biggest thing for me is I just don't think they really have a map pool. They can't play Den or Exposure Hardpoint really. Den S&D is not really in the question. Raid S&D isn't really in the question. So my biggest thing is this split. I think they should focus on getting comfortable on more maps.
Getting comfortable. Well, they got to be comfortable against Vancouver Surge because that's who they're about to go toe-to-toe with. This roster, couple of struggles. You got to face it. Honestly, I think this roster needs a win today, and the reason why is because now they're towards the bottom two. In fact, in the bottom two. With Koi winning, the pressure not be going to Major 2 if they cannot get a win.
Yeah, even matchup here, and you know they have 2 wins on the season. One of those on land versus Carolina, and one, guess who versus Boston Breach. And to me, you know, looking at this, I called him out in their last match. Quinn is a guy I really want to see step up. You know, he's 46 out of 56 qualified players in the league in terms of Slayer rating. That's a far cry from the Rookie of the Year that we saw a couple years ago. And then the last point that I'll add to this, in this specific matchup, I think it's Abe versus Purge. That's the matchup that you want to look at. The last time these guys matched up, Abe actually had a great series. He outdueled Purge. So I'll be looking at those 2 guys opposite each other in the series.
So given the history, do we think Vancouver Surge is going to be the favorite in this series? Not asking for the official prediction, but I mean, for Boston Breach, do we think they're going to be a team that can get over, especially when we look at the maps and modes?
I wouldn't call them the favorite, to be honest, but as we look over at the layout, like I said, smaller map pool for Boston, so Blackheart is a big question mark for me, but that Colossus, they definitely want to get there. As far as the Search and Destroys goes, you get the Den in the map number 5, so for Boston, you're hoping to close this out in 4, and if I had to guess, they're probably looking for a 2-3-4.
2-3-4, all right. Well, let's move into our Scup Pick'ems. Rosalie, again, I got to default to you. You've been on fire recently. Who you going with?
I'm going to stick with Boston Breach in this one. I don't think they have 2 bad series.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Boston as well. I think they edge out the Surge here. I think it could be competitive. We can go 5, but
I hope so.
In the end, I trust Boston.
I got to go with Boston as well. Boston across the board. Are we doing it? Chat, where are we going? Boston across the board. Vancouver Surge, that means it's up to you to prove us all wrong. Can you do it? Let's find out. Miles Chance, take it away.
A tough ask, a very tough ask indeed. 2 teams who have had a bad time thus far in this season, Chance. Tough times, but hopefully this series can be the catalyst, the spark that ignites the flame of ambition in our tarnished teams. How are you feeling, brother? Ready to party in what should be an interesting series?
I'm feeling good. I think this series is going to be a battle as well. This has a Game 5 potential written all over it, and I think the map 1 is really going to set the scene from the start because, you know, speaking of the hard point woes coming in from Vancouver Surge, they're just 0-11 in map 1s. They start slow every single time, but I'd say the Blackheart is a good opportunity for them because Boston Breach do not have the hot hand either. Both of these teams have been on a losing spree. Both of these teams have been getting swept every now and again. The record painful. So these are the exact type of matchups. If you're thinking long term, you're thinking champs, you're thinking making it to the Birmingham event at all, you have to win against the teams towards the bottom. But again, Blackheart, not the strongest map here for Boston. Huge opportunity for Surge to finally start a series right.
Well, we have to give the win to somebody into these maps, folks. So let's find out. Into Blackheart we go. And what a delightful start for Vancouver Surge. That's 3 dead in the feed right away. That's all 4. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, okay, so the green team will be white, and then the teal team. Wow, teal versus green. I feel I need more rods and cones in my eyes, Miles, if you want to get technical.
Second wave of Boston players, entirely ineffective. Except for Cam. He could work out. Cam, he's going to at least get on the board for the boys. And is it going to amount to a whole lot? Arguably, no. Fantastic start here from Vancouver Surge. A perfect P1. Ooh, for a moment longer. Here you go, Abe. Spree is still going on a 4.
Yeah, this is feet up chilling right now. Hey, that is an honest and easy 4 spree he was able to go on. And, well, worked hard for the 5th one to take down Snoopy, but yet you are getting picked apart along the way. 7-0 start, Hellstorm secured, and even better, you got the rotation and a 30-point lead.
Come on, Abe. This is and teaching mid-map as well. Boston, where you at? Snoopy and Nasty yet to get on the board. Nasty finally gets something going there, but now over towards the dreaded P2. Now, I know you played ranked, Charles. I know you've had a fair share of games with me as well. This is not an easy hard point to break. This is bang your face against the front, hopefully catch a good nade kill or 2, hopefully get on the inside, and Boston have gone and done it.
Yeah, shout out to the Breach. You are right, not an easy hill to break, but that there is no trophies this early on. Difference maker. You get the frag kills, get the nades in the mix, and, well, you're at least having an opportunity to make something happen, because Vancouver Surge, exactly the start you want to have. Abe gets the hot hand, 8 kills already. Of course, though, scrap time, it's a battle worth taking. Lunar's doing everything he can. It's a 1v1 on the left side of the map for the final 10 seconds. Lunars is going to be the guy. Or number 3, yeah, he's going to secure it. So Vancouver Surge rack up the lead just a little bit more, and they're playing bully ball on the rotation. A 2v3, but they're holding him back.
Yeah, nice stuff. Reaching out, getting some mans on the back line. That's going to be Spawn's Well, we'll find out as the next set of kills come through, but Vancouver dig in on time. Opening kills going their way, Abe and Teach. And Abe, look at this, holding the back. Diligent play, takes care of Nasty with relative ease, and that is going to be a very Vancouver Surge-friendly hardpoint.
Yeah, and Abe knew the impact of that kill as well. He was snappy in the player cams, calling out that dead. So secured the spawn, secured the rotation. Easy pinch there from Teej, or maybe not. Nasty, a nice pickup, and that's the opportunity for Breach to actually go full speed ahead. Everybody jumping in towards the time. You can see Surge feeling the pressure. Everybody's wrapping back to take these fights.
Yeah, they're trying. And when you blink and you miss all of it. Luna's on a 3 spree, and the entirety of the Boston Breach roster has been taken down again. Scrap time looking good. Outside of that, the players in the back here from Boston spawning up. Luna's managing to take 2 of them with him and keep the spree rolling for a moment longer. Big kills and a big moment there from Vancouver. Into the next hard point, they rotate as well.
Yeah, devastating kills from Lunars because his team won the gunfight on the rotation. So now Boston continuously spawning out. Gwyn with the 2-piece he gets. Boston are continuously spawning out, and they're just scattered. Now finally trying to get everybody grouped together, but there's no open avenues of attack. You go through Dub's window, Abe's there. Try to follow that guy up. Lunars has the coverage. I mean, you're trying to flood through the front on Blackheart. If you're breaking through the front, it is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a true test of the mental resolve, but a nice 3 now. Abe brought down as well, so all dead. Good stuff there from Breach. You're going to hold on to this time as best you can. This is a solid 20. You need it dearly. It has not been a kind first set to you so far here on Blackheart. Snoopy, 2 and 11, continuing to have a massive struggle here in this matchup. 3 and 11 now. Watch him climb those ranks momentarily. New hard points up, and Boston, they are in contest for the rotation win.
Oh, man, and look at how quickly they're able to break this down. They lose the first 2 gunfights, and yeah, off respawn, swarming around the time. TJ trying to play with the food because he's got a little bit of help, waiting for Lunars to finally make the play, and there you go. It is a quick and easy facilitation of a break in the minimap right now. Gorgeous. You have Gwyn pushed so far away from the action that honestly, I'm concerned he won't be in it.
A little too far forward. That's right. And Boston have walked into the back line. Last man on time. Brought down Boston with a naughty little flip halfway through. Here comes Teacher off the wall hop. Makes his way through the run. Gets himself a kill. A little bit of back and forth now. Trying to keep Boston Breach guessing. Can we find the next set? Oh, baby. The kills were solid. And it's all good, though, for Boston again. Abe trying to keep the play alive. And surely they snuff him out. Spawns flip once again. And Boston Breach is still 100 points. What a big difference now. They've got to keep the climb going.
Yeah, and that is a 4-man wipe right as P1's about to spawn. Purge is going to be the only man inside. TJ sees 3 through the front door. Everybody's going to be weak in one shot, and Abe gets to be clean up crew again. A 7 spree on P1 the first go around. Well, now he's on a 3.
20 and 7, there seems to always be at least one guy on your team that does it, and this is the man right now. He's kept Purge guessing. Abe, just a bullet away. Still has a Hellstorm in the back pocket. That's going to be very handy indeed, as his teammates are soaking away wonderfully here on P1 of the second set. Vancouver Surge, absolutely a come to play.
Dude, this P1 is a nightmare as well, trying to keep track of players when they're jumping, dancing in around the pillars. Boston finally get the break. Gwyn, good muscle up, bad gunfight. So Boston maybe secure for these final 20 seconds, but Vancouver staying ahead of the rotation. It's going to be a 3v4, so they're actually playing it passive, letting the gunfights come to them. I love the idea. Have to execute and get the kills, and indeed they do. Perfectly played on the rotation. Snoopy wiped out Vancouver, nice and secure.
That's fantastic work. Players now making their way through P1. Watching Abe on trying to catch players through dubs, but Nasty, nice work to take care of that. So here we go. A full strength Boston Breach on the attack towards time. Contest is on. Reinforcements narrowing through the rear for Vancouver Surge. To the front, it's going to be Lunas on a 4. It's going to be Lunas on a 5. And Vancouver survive.
Yeah, that is the easiest soak job you're ever going to get out of Lunars as well. Just waiting for the gunfights to fall into his lap. And Surge, they've handled the game. 0-11 in map 1s is this team, and they're about to get their first one in emphatic fashion. Breach falling off the map. They fear TJ. They look him in the eyes. They'd rather just die themselves.
Hey, this is insane, man. 22-11, 21-8 for Lunas, 22-16 for Tej, and Gwyn 11-15. Hey, man, nice though. Hard point time across the board. Lunas is literally doing it all. This is a brilliant map, and they've still got the Hellstorm to play with. And here's another. Backside, and he threads the needle. Only takes care of Snoopy. Nasty and Cammy thoughtful in their survival there, trying to stay alive as best they can as the attack towards the back line cleaned up. Gwyn's involved, Gwyn's on it, and that should be game. Ladies and gentlemen, Vancouver Surge have broken the curse of map 1.
Dude, and Boston Breach, they've just been delivering the easiest games in the world to other teams. Yeah, welcome to the 100-point club, and welcome to a series off to a hot start. Congratulations, Vancouver Surge. That's a map 1.
They barely look. I mean, Luna's just dropped a bomb. Couldn't really tell. Not very impressed. Gwyn's happy to be back on the winning side of things, but Boston, Blackheart is not their map. Wow, that was a tough one. That certainly hurt. And at times, hopeless in the assault, hopeless in the breaks towards many, many hard points. Even when they did win rotation, they were broken relatively quickly. So impressive work there from Vancouver Surge. I believe the Vancouver team might have taken this morning's Olympic affair personally, as they certainly put Boston to task, despite the fact that I think all of the lads there in Vancouver are from the States. Either way, that was a beatdown.
I mean, 10-21 for Cammy, 10-22 for Snoopy. Not a single player breaking the 2K damage mark there on Boston. And then, funnily enough, I mean, the stat lines for Surge are ridiculous. 23-8, and then 22-11. And then his big man Tej that was doing the slang, 25 kills, 3,100 damage. I mean, Boston Breach in the past 2 days, they have been hand delivering the easiest maps we have seen all year to the other teams. I mean, whether it be the 6-0 on the Den S&D against LAT or this one here, I mean, Surge, that's just feed up. You're feeding. It's a feast. You get to do whatever you want.
Lunas had 2 minutes and 15 in the hard point as well. So, look, it's as good as it possibly could have been right now for Vancouver Surge. And wow, what a time to get it. 250, 78, your scuff, play the game. Quite frankly, it's the scoreline. Abe's P1 was great. Lunas had a fantastic map all map long. And Vancouver Surge on the board.
And I mean, the amount of running it down Breach was doing on that first hill, and Abe went on that spree. I mean, Snoopy and Nasty were 0-8. There's still 15 seconds left on P1, so they are running it down on Blackheart. And I'm telling you, that's the worst thing to do. When you're caught in a Blackheart blender, it is not a fun situation. But on the flip side for Vancouver, extremely well-played game. Great utilization of the Hellstorm, locking down the P2s, responding to the pressure extremely well, I would say. The only thing I didn't like is the setup they had on the P5, where if Miami Heretics have a mini-map that looks like that, I'm thinking it's fantastic. When it's Vancouver Surge, I'm like, I think Gwyn's probably a little bit too far, and, well, surely enough, the hill gets broken maybe 10 seconds later, but outside of a very small thing, I mean, this is flawless Blackheart gameplay.
Yeah, really, really good. Very aggressive, lovely submachine gun prowess displayed there by the Surge lads. And a GG's in the chat. Very, very strong. Boston, avoid that one, or at least get back to work in the lab, because damn, that was a brutal, brutal display there. Tough one for the Boston Breach boys. We'll see if the Boston Breach boys can bounce back in a search and destroy in a moment's time, but pretty flat. A pretty flat curve there on the Boston scoreline. Really not good stuff for them. Scrap time if they were fortunate. Early rotations if they were lucky enough. But it was breaks on breaks on breaks. Great stuff, Surge. Can't give them enough credit there, Chance. That was as good as it could get.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can carry that into the S&D, because again, for Surge, they've just been starting on the back foot every single time, but the advantage they had there in the pick and bans to get the Blackheart from map number 1, fully capitalized, and for a Colossus S&D, maybe one of the more balanced maps we have between these two squads in terms of difficulty of predictability. Very balanced. I mean, Boston have a round 11 win. They have a close loss. Vancouver Surge, balanced effort as well. So I think it's going to be a much better battle, certainly, than we saw in map number 1. Maybe for the test of Boston, we'll see if they can bounce back, because again, past 2 days for them, not looking too kind.
No, not at all. The Surge, though, I mean, after yesterday's performance, surely the only way is up. Last time we saw Abe against Boston way back in January. Not bad at all. I'll take that 1.36 for 3 plants as well. Abe doing a whole lot there. But in this Colossus, a new dawn, a new day, and a new chance now for Boston to find themselves in the series. Here we go into the first round.
No trophies. And no nade connections. You have TJ actually taking quite a bit of space. He is aggressive in tunnel already. So Vancouver Surge, good looking mini map on the defensive end. Boston testing their luck towards A.
Yeah, they've got to get there a little faster. They've got eyes everywhere right now. If you're a Surge player, you're hoping for Teach to get in a position on the flank, and he might be the first man into the feed. Here he goes. Teach lines up one, damage into the second. Not good enough for the kill. Enough in the battle, though, to punch his way forward, and that is a clean dispatch. Surge, early game plan pays off.
Absolutely. I mean, again, for TJ, no time wasted. Exactly how you want to play aggressive there with an SMG. And for Boston, that is now at minimum 7 rounds in a row that they have lost, and many of these rounds have not been close. Only a single player there from Surge falling, and, well, everybody getting involved in the kills column. Looking good, Mouse, on that momentum staying put.
Yeah. That's looking good. That's like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And we respond to a couple of moves there that Boston make seconds into the round, but really not a whole lot. Let's see what they look like on the attack here for Vancouver Surge. It's going to be Old Gwyn with a big gun. VS Recon in hand, and he's going for the big hops. Doesn't see a whole lot there except for the pieces of shrapnel and fragmentation flying across the side of that A-bomb site. But at this point in time, not a whole lot to show. And it is going to be enough to give the boys credence to move forward. There's Cammy. And there is the whole squad. Howdy, boys. Gwyn can't hit it yet. Pressure's now on. They're down a man.
Good teamwork as well. Now they're going to be falling out of the sky, though, for looters. Well, trades him out, and it is the sniper, last one standing. And Boston, no, he's got the boomstick. Don't have to overpeak, don't have to overchow. Just wait for the intel.
Yeah, they're going to play real slow. Or not. Nasty's gone. That was a sniper now there for Boston eliminated. Gwyn from a 1v3 to a 1v2, and here come the lads. Oh boy, good luck with your pistol here, mate. They're going to check that corner. Instant, checks it, guns it. He may walk away with one. It's enough to take the round, and a slightly dejected Cammy there. He did get left hanging by the boys. That's not a fantastic sign.
That is yet far and away the worst fist bumps I've ever seen from a pro team. That is not ideal, but hey, good play call. You get the man advantage 3v1. You find out there's a sniper over towards P4. Nasty's death delivers that information, so make the play call, double hit him. As long as you don't line up, he's not going to get us both.
Thank goodness they didn't, but in a crazy alternate timeline, he doesn't have the Jaeger out, and he has a sniper out, and he catches them both. And we're screaming our lungs out right now over a 1v3 collab. A new round, though, and back to reality. We get deeper into this one. Big push there out of the Surge boys, though. Oh, big push out of Teej, finds 2. An even bigger attack there from Gwyn. And now all down to Cammy. Can he catch timing on one of these players to maybe get at least one out of that life? That's good enough for now, and your boy is going to back up. How much fight has Cammy got in him here? Not enough. Surge again. Lightning rounds.
Taking care of business. TJ there to lead the charge for the execution. He's able to pick up 2. And as you say, for Cammy trying to fight, seemingly Boston don't have a ton of fight in them. Yeah, just dejection the entire way through. This is a level of demoralization that I think I am unaccustomed to seeing.
I know, especially from players of this caliber. They're solid. I mean, it's been a tough year for Boston already. A series like this is an essential win just to get one under the belt. And right now, we're only 3 rounds in. It's 4th. Let's see how it goes for them. Nasty to get himself up on the board. Oh, and a perfect lineup there for Gwyn. Unfortunate to walk away with only 1 there. They were so close.
Well, Purge at least trying to get active. He's going to be behind the entire team. There's a freebie kill, so you got a 3v3, and Vancouver Surge now in a bit of a trap-through tunnel. Players every direction, Cammy there to zap them down, and, well, this will be TJ for a 1v3 that does not last. There's the energy we're looking for Boston. You get first blooded, but Purge stays active on the map. Everybody swarms around over towards tunnel, and those 3 players, everybody getting involved.
Yeah, again, a dynamic play there from Purge. Nice pinch, sticking to it, and I love the hit and run. Doesn't have to get greedy, doesn't have to go for 2, take a gunfight that is a 50-50 at that point in time. Lovely stuff. The tunnel coverage as well. So Boston playing Vancouver Surge very well there. Find the equalizer. We now roll on 5th round. Headbutt towards A. Numbers now for Surge. We'll see if the nades connect.
We're going. Trophy there. We are full sending into hell. And Vancouver Surge come out on top 3v2.
Welcome to hell, population. Boston. Oh, that round is gone. A big commitment, but they don't stick it out. They just go for a couple of fights, try to hit the tactical retreat, and you find Gwyn watching that P1 position with Snipe. They fall right into it, and this is Tej on the last kill. Oh, hit and run. Gwyn hits a good one. Not a huge amount of effort needed here. I mean, he's going to be watching this top spot. A couple of players make their way across. Again, a miracle he doesn't hit both.
I mean, he's doing what he can, but for Boston, that's a great round 1 strat. If they don't have trophies, you hit the nades, you bully out P2, but unlucky for them that I think just 3 Vancouver Surge players playing at the P2 section. The perfect counter to the hit attempted, and well, Nasty, the perfect counter to the snipe. This time he gets the first blood on TJ.
Yeah, nice. Gets away with his life as well. A with a tiny bit of intel there, but again, a nice line here from Boston. Drawn in the sands of Colossus. There's no sand, it's just water. But you know what I'm talking about, Chan. Pensive moment now from Surge. Down a man, hoping for a mistake out of Boston, but they are resolute in this defense.
Yeah, well, no dice on the mistake, so get grouped up together. All 3 players here for Vancouver working the A site.
Here we go. Over the top, Gwyn. Oh, tons of intel. A couple of toes spotted. Not sure if that's his thing or not. He's going to back on up, so there we go. We've learned something new about Gwyn today, folks. Are we going to plant the bomb at A, or are we going to give it over to B? Oh, the call here might be bad. Boston have got the numbers, but there we go. A-bomb plant. It's on Abe. Good luck, have fun.
Well, quick on the resurgence as well. You know, the guy left the site, chase, and no kill. Abe fries him, and now it's a desperation defuse. And he's going to get it. Yep, that's a good play call out of Purge. Doesn't trust his teammate to get the kill, so make sure you get the objective.
There we go. Hop it. And Boston again. Each round, it does feel like quite a lot. We are looking for the turnaround. We're looking for that win here for Boston. They sorely need it. It's 3-3. Typically, we see a pretty rapid counterattack here from the Surge boys, and that's what you want. Another big first blood there from Nasty. No, just hold it, please. Tej is there. I promise you he's there. Uh-oh. He's so sneaky. TJ Haley. He's still there. A bomb site's about to pop. Nasty can't quite make the mark. But that's fine. Backs him down. Over the way.
Well, over at A, it's a 3v3 though. Nasty's out of the picture right now with the snipe, so Vancouver Surge active. They have P1 control, an opportunity for the clutch.
Oh, good damage into TJ. Can we try to stay alive? 2 HP. In comes Purge. Up over the top. Snoopy's there to pick up his as well. And it all comes down to Luna's. Backs away. And they can't even cut to him in time. He's already gone. Boston take the lead.
Huge. And great patience as well. Nobody overcommits if Nasty's not in the action. Do not be the ones to force the issue. They play the response game. And I like the idea coming in through P1, but ultimately just Purge with a nice response. Snoopy there for the follow-up, and obviously Nasty kicks it off right. Just a little bit quicker on the angle. Got the best of Gwyn there. Gwyn, hot early on with the snipe, but Nasty, that's a few first bloods he's been able to collect as a response. And that'll have Boston with the 4-3 lead.
Everyone's cut out for the opening hit. The first blood style of snipe, we've seen a couple of players very effective. That super springs to mind. Abuza. Gwyn, not necessarily in that same conversation. Nasty, though, absolutely has been. Oh, boy. Purge is, I mean, he is hopping. Look at him go. Just pure information right now from Boston on the defense. This is exactly, well, very similar setup to the round they had prior. And you're giving nothing to Surge. Nothing.
Surge, they got TJ in tunnel again. That's sort of like the impact player in this moment. And he's just clearing space, making sure nobody's going to pinch. Vancouver Surge a lot more comfortable now to work the A site.
Oh, and they're working the B as well. But Boston, now we've got through tunnel. Gwen is absolutely aware of this. He's definitely aware that something could be happening on the flank, and that is indeed it. Oh my God, Purge has walked through. He's walked through. Snoopy springs to life, and Boston, what an explosive retake. And finally, someone has fist bumped Cammy. Thank God.
I heard that one as well.
Thank God. Oh, I needed that. I needed it. Who's sitting next to him? Is it Purge? Yes, Purge. Good man, Purge. Nice round. A very nice round. It's commentator tries to will the life back into this squad. I mean, there it is. Purge, it was cool. It was very calm, but connection was made. Boston might just be back.
And the real winners are the people that make friends along the way, Miles.
What the f are you talking about? Here we go. Map point, Boston breach.
2-2 split on the attack, a hard stack on the A site there for Vancouver. You got tunnel control in the hands of Purge. He'll be cheeky over here in this angle, see if he can set a little trap to work with, but Boston right now, you're up 5-3. You can see if the other team is going to make that mistake first. Purge has the timing, moving in. First blood delivers, and out people back turn, shooting in front of him. Gwyn somehow gives you 3. Nasty L-triggered last man standing dancers in front of him.
Oh, hold me closer, tiny dancer. How did Gwyn get 3? That was unbelievably impressive. It might have been the white monster. I can't lie. And that's what they call him in prison as well. I'm sorry, I'll show myself out. 10-5 though, Gwyn. Strong stuff to keep the boys in it.
Yeah, and great damage. I mean, lucky number right there, 777. And we forgot about that ever important statue, Hetty. We were so dialed in on those tunnel gunfights. Well, Gwyn just gets to play the absolute cleanup crew. Double-digit game, and he's got the lucky hand today.
Beautiful stuff. Well, again, a 1 round separating Boston from the win for a showdown in round 11. Surge, A-bomb site. We're feeling the love. We're going for it. And Gwyn, that force spree looks very attractive, and that stun must have hit all 3 of those players. That's intel, if ever we've seen it. Teach just showing himself a little bit here towards the A-bomb site, trying to worry about the nades upstairs, and walks away with no damage. Snoop with a first blood, and he's out. He's gone. Here come Boston on the attack towards P1.
Well, they cleared the close corner, so you're safe about planting the bomb, except for Snoopy is still running worlds behind you. Now you're getting pinched, and it is looking like a breakdown. Boston Breach trying to bounce back. Final 2 players in P1. Hey. Cleanup crew for Purge. And there's the fist bumps we're mostly looking for Cammy. We got a tied up series 1-1.
And that is about as strong as it could have been in that final round. I mean, you get the advantage. They spread out across the map. It was a glorious run from Boston there. And again, a lot of frustration. They definitely feel like they shouldn't be in a situation like this, but you are, team. 1-1. Opportunity to find the special source in Search and Destroy on Colossus. It was done. Good stuff, Boston. There we go. Looking across the stats, Snoopy, huge amount of damage. Huge amount there. TJ, the only player on the other side to really join him in the 1K department, and lucky 7s for Gwyn. There's a bit of magic he found. Not so much luck as it was magnificent timing. Beautiful stuff there. 6-4 final score as we are tied up 1-1, brother, going into the overload.
Yep, clean and cool plays through and through for Boston as well, making the adjustment, dealing with the sniper Gwyn, trying to go for the no-show. So got a bit of a battle on hand. And again, that mapped the expectation. A closely contested fight, 6-4, I think, delivers. And I still think for these 2 teams, we might end up seeing a Game 5.
Very good chance. Very, very good chance. Chance, thank you for that. We're going to go to a quick break on the other side. Den Overload. Someone's taking the lead after this one here. Vancouver Surge, Boston Breach here in the Call of Duty League.
Scuff, official controller of the CDL. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
COD Champs tickets are on sale now. Come see the best teams lock in for this season's grand finale in fabulous Las Vegas. All 4-day passes come with early venue access. Head to FazeVegas.com or scan the QR code to get your tickets now.
We get it?
Yeah.
GG!
Boom. Let's go. I want to say that I was not trying to curse us. I did not. I thought it was 250 kills. So when we were up 70 kills, I was like, "There's no way we can lose."
Yeah.
Now it makes.
Whichever bomb site they choose to go to, 30 seconds on the clock, and well, if Easy's been seen, he will drop off the map.
Hey, come on. Get up. Hey, what are we challenging, bro? You go. Let's go. Holy shit. Let's go clutch up there.
You're better, bro. You're so much fucking better. You're good. 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 You're
Listen, be careful with this one, all right, buddy?
You guys shouldn't have.
It's not double wrapped, you know. You should be able to get it in one go.
Well, this is more for Chris or for the people at home. Oh, here we go. Young Christopher Puckett.
20-year-old relic. Can I draw some conclusions for y'all? I know some of you are about to take your senior pictures. I highly suggest the gamer stance. Put the elbows right there on the power thigh.
Yeah, I mean,
distant 90-degree angles. Girls, it drives them wild.
All right, we have one more for you.
And that is indeed the gamer stance. That's when you need to lock in. And both our teams need to lock into the Den Overload that we are moments away from getting into. Welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Miles and Chance here. Brother, what are we thinking about this one? Which way are you leaning?
I think this series is going to go for a mile, Miles. I think a game 5 is going to be on the cards, but for this specific map, advantage Boston Breach. You have a 1-5 record overall for Vancouver Surge. Abe is doing everything he can to get prepared, though, and see if he can turn that around.
Yeah, Abe and Asti, we're going to be talking about these boys in a moment. Abe had a fantastic map number 1. Delightful look. But this is their overload stuff. So from January, this is how things have been. Way back when, way back when, relatively even across the board. Outstanding for the save, though, from Abe there. Something we're really keeping an eye on here. What players are there on the clutch? And who's walking away with the goals? Big scores we've seen in overload. A couple of hat-tricks this weekend alone from individual players. And Den, a map where you can get it done. Will they get done on Den here by Surge? 1-5 so far. The current form not looking bad at all.
And, well, Abe's going to be getting loose as well, so I imagine that average goals number maybe going to go up just a little bit more. Hopefully for Surge, the average goals allowed goes down a little bit, but with the new patch here in Overload, especially on Den, a little bit easier to score. Score's going to be a little bit higher in the game, so if you're loose, you're free. If your SMGs are frying, the game will be flowing very quickly in your direction. A balancing act, I think, Den Overload is.
We're spinning plates and good shots out of Lunas and Cammy, and they trade in their mid-map battle. And Gwen's going to be the only man up right now for Search. We're waiting for Abe on that flank. Oh, Cammy knows about it. A couple of shots there just to keep him at bay. It's going to be Gwen containing the mid-map pressure. And oh dear, pressure is a wicked opportunity right now for Surge. A big pickup. Dojo presence is going to be gone. Are they going to commit to the play? Yeah, Lunas still EMP device in possession, and Surge are trying to get moving.
Well, great nade from him, but unfortunately falls to the hands of Snoopy. But now you're looking for the open lane. Problem is for Vancouver, they just have players scattered everywhere on the map. Gwen's looking for spawn kills, and if you get the device, well, you'll be good to go, and eventually it pans out. You clear out Dojo. Gwen has done his job in the spawn, and that is a 57-second capture there for Vancouver. They strike first.
It was a little scrappy. It was a little messy. They had to win their ones, and they did, thank goodness, because now they're up by 1. Lunas spotted. What a problem to deal with here is a heavy hit now towards the brand new EMP spawn on the bottom side of the map right now. And Boston Priest, they've taken as much space as possible on the pressure forward. Vancouver on the back foot, on the defense. Let's go for a listen in.
They're in trial.
Play the back,
I'm trying. I need it, bro.
I think a pinch deep.
That's one left. Yeah.
Challenge Snoop weak.
Everyone put on.
Nading, I naded.
Oh, wait, couch. Broken on me. Okay. Done.
Nice job.
Map's here, bro.
My challenge, please. Yeah, challenge, done. More.
Weak.
Nice. More, done.
Nice, 4.
Nice, 4.
I'm
going left. Yeah, figure right. I'm going through left.
I went right already.
Never mind. Come now.
Okay, fuck me.
Okay, one's out of Dojo. He's challenging 10. 10 camp.
Well, I'm out.
I hear.
That's all you.
Maul one-shot purge, bro.
I hear. I think camp cut mid.
Maul done.
Nice. I think camp cut mid somewhere.
Wow.
I'll get it.
Could be right now.
One left.
Here, could be right as well.
Yeah. I spawned left. We got someone's right with me.
I'm ripping. Stay left, please.
Left. One shot nasty left, P2. Right here. P2, one bullet.
I don't see shit. Trying
to make sure this guy doesn't get door deep. Alright, you hold it deep.
He caught one shot. Bam.
Walker.
Two right.
Walker, one shot. Walker.
You're right.
Go left.
Go left.
I made one bullet, bro. What the fuck? Go left. P2 on your right. Close P2. P2 on me.
Nasty, bro.
On one couch.
Yeah, close corner. Alright, he went outer. Outer nasty.
Yeah, P2. One more couch. Couch half.
Couch and outer left. P2. So.
Nice.
P2 even the back.
I got it. On it.
Right.
More couch. Back couch then.
Nice job. They're gonna be close.
Here.
Yep. Getting mid, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, left,
I don't see anything outer. Deep outer.
Nading ball.
The right is open too, by the way.
Yeah, need ball.
A 1-1 chance. What do we make of the comms?
Not a fan. No, not good. But hey, you're winning the game, so it's all good. I know TJ right now is struggling to get kills just a little bit, but you know, only a 1-1 game. Get the gun hot, you'll be good to go as the battle around the new device commences. Gwyn gives you 2. Vancouver have the edge.
Yeah, watching out for Lunas on that flank. Easy reads, taking care of business though. Oh, you've still got the man up though. Possession as Gwyn tries to get real tricky with it. Brought down now on a fast attack towards the B portal for Vancouver Surge. Snoop's going to be leading the charge. Purge alongside him now as we start to overtake. A mid-map cut is about to get a naughty. Abe could go big here. Is he going to get at least one of these players on the cross? No, Nasty with a big nade. Opportunity still. TJ's on a flank though. They have not read this and the timing is not ideal. And Tej, my goodness, he wins that fight. He's able to get the goal. Here we go. Forward we go once again into the mouth of Gwyn.
I mean, hey, Boston have players missing. They get a kill and just unwilling to push forward. So they were really making sure no one's going to pinch. And now they're actively running the device backwards. But we're not parking the bus. We're just going coast to coast. We're going top side of the map. And to get the cutoff kills towards the middle of the map, you can leave Gwyn just away from the action. And if you win the gunfights up front, you'll be good to go. Purge gives you 2. One cutoff man to beat. Can't get it done. Gwyn makes it back. The defensive stand is strong.
Snoop, no good. Here comes the next level of Boston breach attack. Oh dear, Purge is going to get his nasty as well. Still keeping it going. That trophy's going to certainly help things. Gwyn on the close left, Luna's out right, and that should be it. We're going to get the reset. 25 seconds on the clock. One final attempt. Can we see a lead change in the dying seconds of the first half?
One final attempt to get it. Looking for the balanced front. If anybody, it's going to be advantage towards Cammy. Now getting a little bit active at 6 and 12. You know what players outer and Lunas with the pistol. Gonna give you 2. Someone though has to touch that device. It'll be Vancouver. Last opportunity for a score.
Oh, did he get stuck? He did. He got stuck. Oh my goodness. What a magical nade. That was a cap. No cap. That was absolutely going in. That stick just saved the scoreline going into the second half.
Yeah, and well, the first results of the score was some Gwyn spawn kills. Lunars with a nice kill around the zone. On the flip side for Boston, had to work a little bit harder for it, but nonetheless, evening the odds. Happy in that moment. Purge with a clean 2, and Boston at the very least really trying to play that rotation game.
Well, they got a lot of spread across the map, solid possession, and a couple of fantastic opportunities on the kills, but... And this is the last kill from Lunas. I mean, that is brilliant. A touch of friendly fire helped out there. And this was the stick. Oh, brilliant work. Abe, he was there for the damage. And again, if he doesn't get stuck there, opportunity now to see Surge up. But either way, we go to the second half now. Hearts full. A lot of possession there from Boston. Strong stuff from them. And they're trying desperately to overwhelm the Vancouver side of the map.
Yeah, Vancouver watching the long pinch first, not the short one. Didn't have the timings dialed in, but TJ does. Gives you 3 over towards the mid cut. He's the lead blocker, has all the clearance in the world past mid cut. Eyes on one, knows they're hitting the back, and hey, at least gives you 1. Should be a cap if you can make it the final one through, or Gwyn.
Wait.
Juke it out. He actually has the glitch going on. He's got the drive it.
He's got his drive it out. And it's no good. Nasty. What a save. Quick pickup. TJ got big hit. TJ. Looking for one more. TJ and Abe. Oh, and they haven't managed to get it out. But wait, they run into A, and it's a detonation just even with the spawners up close and personal. TJ, what a moment for Surge.
Yeah, I love that. That's a ball don't lie moment as well, because I think with it, I don't want to explain it actually, because I don't want it to happen in ranked, but yeah, Gwyn not shooting the Dravik, if that visualization was correct. So he's keeping the game honest, and his team now has the lead, so respectable. Now you're trying to get the movement going. It's going to be a long-term P2 hit, though, where his entire team is trying to move through couches.
We are holding the line right now for Vancouver Surge. They'll be patient play out of them. Desperately trying to give away too much. TJ once again. Oh, TJ once again. He can't get another, but it's an opportunity now to run it towards A. Gwyn, man of the moment. 21 and 10. Can he get himself his 4th capture? Damage on the Snoop, and his teammates are still trying to back him up, but Boston hold the line. Now, to the rooftops we fly.
And this is a moment where the comms for Vancouver Surge, not being my favorite, probably punishing. Because once TJ gives you 2 like this, you got to be snappy on the move, snappy to try to make the call. And, well, now Abe can't do it by himself. Or maybe he could, honestly. Purge gives one away, but no, Snoopy there for the fill-in. He's just waiting for the reinforcements.
The golly, he's trying. Oh, baby. Snoop there. Buying a bit of space. Gwynn, he's still up. Luna's trying to fight his way through couches. Last man cleaned up. Here we go. Boston, a final moment to get some air back in the lungs and finally get some space. But again, Vancouver Surge suffocating on the attack here in the second half. And Gwyn, right place, right time, takes care of business. Snoopy's up next. That's Nasty's pinch, though. Still, an opportunity for Surge to keep this play alive.
They're going to be going on the pinch as well. TJ, once again, the lead man, but he is isolated. The more he can give you, the better. And, hey, he gives you something extra. Maybe Lunars instead of Tej. Good luck with the numbers on this one, but 2-minute lead. Or 2 minutes left on the game clock. Excuse me, 1-score lead. All the kills that go towards Vancouver, the better. They're happy to keep the device neutral. For Boston, though, it is still plenty of time.
It's solid. And for Vancouver, again, we're not parking no bus. This is an onslaught. They're desperately trying to get another capture. They cannot be sitting on a single-point lead. Stupid nasty. Sensational work so far to keep the mid-map safe. And here we go. Foot race is on. Spawners are in. Great damage out of Tej. Great damage. Not enough for the kill. And he's still fighting tooth and nail. Crossover now from the MP. Over towards the B goal. It's a big win from Gwyn again. But, oh, you nearly slipped the net. Trying to make their way in, and it's a desperation from Boston. Not enough, though, as once again Surge deliver.
And how about that for the decision-making of Lunars, making sure he has the drop it in hand off spawn when you know the pressure is going to be in through those close quarters. Now Cammy's doing the same thing. We're trying to be active here in this final minute. Vancouver device in hand. Gwyn, another 2-piece is able to get as he is leading that charge. Nasty might just get juked out as well. Gwyn gets another with the pistol. I don't even know if that's the same Gwyn or not, but nonetheless, Vancouver, 45 seconds. The longer they live, the better.
They're holding slowly but surely. And we're waiting for the final hit here. They're back on up towards mid. Your side of the map is totally safe, Boston. If you can find that kill, you're looking at a fast run. A big flank right now from Nasty might be the deciding moment. Luna's trying to get forward. Not going to happen. Can they drive the front line forward? No. It's another from Gwyn. It's another from Gwyn. He's done it. That's going to be 3, and that should be it. The final 15 seconds. Boston, surely impossible for them to tie it up. Surely. Surely, Chuds.
One man to beat. It is one man to beat.
What? It's another! It's Nasty! He gets it in on 0.1! It's an impossible feat for sudden death now, down 2 men. Boston, you've been given a lifeline. Snoop, oh no! Purge does his very best Super Mario off the top of the head of a Surge player, but it is done. A miraculous goal. A sigh of relief from Surge as they take the lead in the series.
Yeah, for their second Den Overload win on the year. Boston trying to give them as much confidence as possible. Dejected on one end and overtime rules that continue to be brutal. So tricky to play around, and I mean, it's just such a tough situation. The moment you get the capture, the instant sudden death hits once you get that score tied up at 2-2. So that is 2 sets of overtime rules kicking in a split second there for Boston. And that is just a blink and you miss it. They are in a 2 versus 4, but that's just the story for the end of the game. ultimately the story of the entire game is Gwyn more or less just got to farm them. 27 non-tradeds at his feet up the entire time. And I mean, TJ doing the exact same thing on the damage front. Lethal output they had. And keep in mind for TJ, started off the game 3-10. That is one hell of a turnaround once his team got the lead.
Sensational. Wow, quick look at the highlights. A couple of brilliant plays. And a lot of multis, a real lot of multis there for the Vancouver boys. Showing them certainly have the goods when it comes to this series in Respawn. Gwyn having a couple of massive pieces. Again, the sort of second half piece there that he got. That little 3 spree really made it tough, but not impossible for Boston to get that last goal through. Couple of nice plays there. Charleston and the spawn of Boston. That save, nasty picking up the damage there from Purge's perspective. That was as close as it could have possibly been. Great stuff. Strong game of Den there out of Surge, and they will take the lead after that sudden death victory.
And of course, as nice as the save was, didn't matter because the teamwork just didn't exist after the fact. I mean, how many pieces were Gwyn and TJ able to pick up? Just multi-kill after multi-kill. Lunar's getting involved doing it with the pistol as we saw, but Gwyn that entire match, virtually a guarantee. I mean, he traded himself nearly as many times as every single Boston player did after getting a kill. So, yeah, Den, one of the most lethal things we have in the league. Den is honestly more lethal now that I think about it compared to the exploding propane tanks of high-rise.
Wow. That is an unbelievable thing to say. That's an unbelievable stat, and I believe it, even if it's not necessarily 100% accurate. Frustration once again for Boston Breach, as they do indeed fall again in a respawn mode. And Vancouver Surge, oh, look how lit Teachers. He is off the scale right now. Look at him go. One of the only pros to, I think, have a cam for, what, 2 or 3 series his entire career. Insane. Colossus hardpoint coming up after this. We will see it. And again, this was, as Ali was talking about on the desk, you want to get a little deeper into the series if you are Boston. Not like this, though. 250 to 78 on the Blackheart. That was a tough one. How are we feeling about Colossus, Mr. Ashworth?
You know, before the series start, if you're just looking on paper, this is the hard point map where you have higher expectations for Boston to be able to take down Surge. That being said, I think the momentum game is just an interesting question because Boston Breach, I know I'm not an armchair psychologist, but like in the cams, they do genuinely look so dejected. And it seems like their gameplay, the level of energy they have in or out of game are just matching each other. On the flip side for Vancouver Surge, this is a team 0-11 they were in map number 1s. They have never had the experience of having an advantage in a series. So this is novel territory for them. You know, you lose the S&D in a bit of a difficult fashion. They bounce right back in the Den. And of course, Gwyn, maybe the expectation for him to be a superstar player of this roster delivers. So Vancouver Surge now have an advantage in the series. I mean, look at how comfortable they look by comparison. Arms posted to the back. That could be a day at the beach there for Gwyn. And the beach may be emanating from Lunar's screen.
Well, we talked about the first map. This was how it went. This was how it went. Map 1 for Abe and Luna's was about as good as it could have got. Hilltime as well for Luna's. Massive scoreline there. All 8 rotations won. It was their Blackheart. And they ripped it clean away from Boston Breach. A very different look though on Colossus chance we've seen from the Colossus gameplay. Obviously Boston finding the win there on the S&D. Can they force the game 5? Now, does a game 5 loss hurt even more than just getting 3-0'd? That's the question I have in a series like this. As I am feeling a Boston Breach severely deflated. Morale low. As they listen to Coach Shawnee there in the background, it has got to be some super stuff to get them through this and get them into the game 5.
Well, we'll see if you can pull it off. That is definitely a man that I would be paying a great deal of attention to, listening with a open ear, as it were. But we'll see if that Blackheart inertia can carry him through. I know it's all those guys know how to do. I just love that we got the 2 bang out hardpoint maps as well. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, it is going to be a fun one. My hands hurt after a few games of ranked. I'm getting old. It's not easy to keep up with you whippersnappers. 4-2 on Colossus so far. Again, the numbers, Mason, tell us that Boston should be happy here. However, The player cams, the current form, the body language doesn't suggest just that. Is it going to be back to old faithful for Boston to get them into game 5? Or will it be a surprise? Shocking victory here for Vancouver Surge. Let's find out. Here we go, folks, in a map number 4.
We'll see. I think the SMG battle is going to be a key feature as well. Whether it be Abe or TJ, they've taken turns bringing the goods in the respawns. Looking at Snoopy and Purge to try to be able to match him. And hey, first blood to set the tone. Nice little one pump, easy drop there from Tej. That's how this game is going to go.
That's how it's going to go. That's it. Over to Cam. Tej sends it. He gets his, and he's keeping that pressure. Oh, what a catch! Purge stuck, and Tej, if this is how it's going Surge. Nice stuff there off the opening rip. A measly 6 seconds is all Vancouver got out of those shenanigans from TJ.
Yeah, crazy stat, by the way, we just saw that they outslayed by 35 kills on map number 1. That is typically what happens. If you outslay by 35, you 100-point club a team. Generally, you don't lose, but that's for a different team, a different story. Right now, TJ, hot hand, able to clear some space, get the guns flowing. They don't got the spawns for new, but if they're shooting like that, they simply do not need them. TJ looking dominant in this lobby.
Bam! He's air Tej right now. 5 spree. One more for a Hellstorm. Got it! There it is, folks. TJ, 6 spree, 9 and 1, and we are rocking this hard point so far for Surge.
Yeah, and I am not I mean, Breach just do not feel like they are enticed to shoot back against this team. DJ just waiting for the kills to flow his way. I mean, Abe just gives you 2. Great timing there on the jump. And hey, Cammy wins a nice one, but he's just trying to keep the play active. This right now is Surge slammage. But hey, Cammy gets the kill, stays alive, gives you a second, and you just get gifted the back spawns as well. So a momentary mishap for Vancouver, and 20 seconds of scrap time that Surge, well, unfortunately going to give away. Boston happy to collect.
Great workout Cam there on the front line. 4 spree of his own. Could be looking at Hellstorm in a moment's time. Over to P3. Wide out here on Colossus. A little bit rainy. And an aggressive Gwyn. Make sure that Purge sees the respawn screen. A wicked shot from Gwyn on the next man as well as Cammy's spree keeps going. My word, he's got the damage and he doesn't have any teammates to help him out as he is fighting for his life in that tunnel. Purge gets to the fight a little bit later. And Gwyn once again. Oh, another pistol, not good enough. What aggression. Absolutely trying to suffocate Boston here on Colossus.
Yeah, gotta say, by the way, nice to see Gwyn with an SMG ahead. It feels a little bit different, I would say. Of course, though, off the respawn, right back to the AR. That is his intended job, intended role. And, well, the second he pulls out the AR, dies immediately to an SMG. Like to see him flying, like to see him frying. Maybe a better key to success, but Boston, it is a slow trickle of a battle back. They have successfully flipped the spawns. Lunar's last man to take care of, and Nasty does a huge kill to win. Lunar's nearly put you on a mixtape, but instead he got the full rotation over towards New. Purge, though, desperate for some help. Snoopy gives it. Teamwork for Boston on point.
Yeah, absolutely on point. Rotation should be sweet as well. Snoopy going find each other in the feed. Abe, lovely shots onto an airborne Purge. Now straight towards time he's going to go. Try to get some damage in, try to find any of these players, but they're not going to show face there on the pie as he makes his way through that broken hole on the wall. Oh, and he's brought down Tej and Gwyn. It's a clean break from Surge.
And Gwyn's got that drop in hand. Always a good sight to see. Get the trophies out if you got them, but if no trophies, gotta be very careful in the hill. Gwyn gonna have to do the dance, but you see the nades missing around the time. The bullets, though, not. Gwyn now isolated, 3 men to beat. Can't quite do enough. Boston battle back, and they might be fighting the old scrap time battle throughout this Colossus. Losing the rotations, but trying to keep it interesting.
I mean, we're keeping it as close as we possibly can. Well, first set, explosive. Tej with a nice stat line, but Nasty. This one's personal. 17 and 9. We are keeping it all afloat. Back in a P1 we now go. It's anybody's hard point, but right now it's Gwyn's.
And drive at Gwyn as well. All right, I'll stop jinxing it. Nasty there to take him down. Nasty right now, the leading man for his team at 19 and 9. Hey, it's what it's going to be. The M15 can shoot as well. I will offer no commentary on OP weapons in this game. They're honestly equal guns.
It's disgusting work. Well, 19 to 10 there out of Nasty. On the tee, still trying to dance his way through time. Great work out of the Lethals. And explosive hardpoint, possibly the most explosive hardpoint in COD history. It has to be up there. This P1, a nade fest indeed. Pressure here from Vancouver Surge, desperately trying to keep Boston Breach on the yellow side of the map, this side that they're on right now. And Gwyn, oh God, Gwyn can't get a second. Breaks in from Boston, a little bit of time there on P1, and they are flying for P2. Can Lunas get his gun up ready, slow down the Boston attack.
Oh, he's completely back down. He's going to be turtled up in spawn. Good nades and tack and everything usage there coming through Abe and Tej. Clean up crew and all the effort and momentum that you just had. Or they'll give up the back spawns immediately. So not playing a controlled game. Nasty gets given the gift towards the back end. Needs to try to see if he can strike some gold or maybe not. Those are just spawns of hell rolling through. Everybody tucked to the back line. Nasty does indeed deliver. And a chaotic P2 that Boston come out on top. We are in for a battle.
Oh, it's still a battle. And Boston are holding it. Boston are holding it. Gwyn trying to get tricky with the nades here, trying to find some splash damage to those players who are close by, but they're nowhere to be found. Here comes Gwyn, one step at a time, but he's been soaking away this entire hardpoint. Boston, the quick poke in and out, trades it great. The backline, Nasty still good. Hellstorm to work with for the next hill as well. So this is a good look. We should be calling this one in potentially on the next live because you've won the rotation, Vancouver Surge. Purge in position to hit from tunnel.
This is shaping up to be a game of whoever makes the fewer stakes is going to get that win. Well, on this rotation, Vancouver Surge win the initial gunfights, lose the one that's actually out by time, and can be the player trying to keep it interesting. I feel like that's been the game for Boston. Maybe they get one player in a position to break things down, but when they don't, it is painful. Forced to use the Hellstorm off spawn. We'll see if they can make a dent in the time.
Are we trying to find the dent? Sidewinders are out, no good on the connect. No good on time either. Oh dear. Boston Breach now having to get it done with the guns. Let's go for a quick listen in with the Breach team.
Three tunnels, boys. Hey, they're chatting. There's three, four, all four in the left. I can help you. They could go tunnel though. They could go tunnel. Yeah, I'm watching the cross guys. I'm gonna keep my heart up. You can be top mid, okay? Yeah, I'm front of you. Okay. He's tricking. That's fine. One is here for me, right? Yeah. He was my head. I appreciate it. Split me, kill me. Yeah, we're good. I can think I'm front, Abe. Abe, really big front, bro. My bank front, hills wide. Two front. Two wide right. Absolute Abe on time. Absolute on time. I'm going right straight away. If you want center, someone needs to get P1 control though. I'm trying. There goes. He's deep right. They're gonna spawn out. Yeah, tell me, Abe. They didn't come out. Go on front. I'm one more. One shot on the right. Nice, you should, boys. Last one, you're close, okay? Looking deep right. Shot off, yeah, ASD. Hey, I'm hitting it. AC, I got dominated. It's just shot out, AC, jump on top of it. I'm going time. Wait. One shot, hit me on ult. We're on ult and one hit the other stairs, okay? He's on top of the statue and on top of the statue. Let's nade time and play this guy P4.
Not a bad listening whatsoever there from Boston Breach, prioritizing the parts of the map that they want to have control over in the attempted retake. Third set upon us, and this battle of Colossus continues.
And Purge kicking things off, right? He was sitting around that double neg territory, but got the 2 kills over towards Statue and has continued to fry. There's about a 70-point deficit that right now Boston trying to dig themselves out of, but a comfortable P1. When you get statue control, everybody in position, and you should be able to hound these players. Abe, nowhere to go. Gwyn gets a kill. You expect the trades. It rolls through. Boston, I mean, the most time they've gotten all game has been on this P1, and they have managed to flip the spawns.
They're alive, and Purge on a 5 spree. Perfect read of the flip as well. Oh, you're a bullet away from getting another Hellstorm here. Purge is holding it down. Luna's the next attempt towards hardpoint. Purge gets away with his life for now. Rotation for P2 covered. Boston Breach are alive and kicking.
Yeah, and a key battle for the back spawns as well. TJ trying to get it going, but yeah, TJ, he has to live here. Needs to be able to get to. All of his teammates are working front.
Now, oh, it's all front, and they don't get anything done. Abe, he wins the gunfight. Abe wins it on time. The nade there to keep the boys at bay. And you've got the back spawn still for Boston. They have to now try to fight their way through. Abe holding it down. Abe keeping it together. Boston, oh, they can't get out. The pinch is there. Purge Red from the back, and now all guns front. Vancouver have hold.
Thriving in the mixiness. That was multiple players stacked in around the time, trying to figure out where those spawns are going to be coming from. But finally, a moment of stasis. Boston want to give it one final last-ditch attempt to break over towards New, but they're not going to get anything. It is going to be 240-193 as the new time pops. Boston Breach staring down the barrel of a Vancouver Surge loss. That is a devastating L. They got to make something happen here.
It's not happened yet. Nasty, safe in tunnel. Pinch is on through the blue crate. The Vancouver boys will make their attack. The Godheady in a moment for Abe. Have they read the play on the Godheady? No, they haven't. Purge saves it. So now one flank is completely safe. It's a war on one front right now. And Snoopy, he's the man on the hold. So far, so good.
And Vancouver Surge, I mean, this would be a great time to take a route or call in the Hellstorm. Abe is motionless on the map. So either his controller is not, or there's a Hellstorm. Finally, it's rolling through. That took forever to actually get to, but hey, clean 4-man wipe, and that might just be the game.
And that's how you do it. That is how you streak a P3 on Colossus. A worthy investment. 10 CDL points, and about damn time, Vancouver Surge.
Yeah, what a game. And at least finally some teamwork for the Boston players, both right arms to the back of the head. They had that coordination in game, could have done a little bit more, but Vancouver Surge in the hard points on the Mixie Max, picking them apart. That Blackheart inertia carried them all the way through a 3-1 victory. Finally get the map 1 woes out of the way. And I'd say you just had a series for Vancouver Surge where all 4 players had